I hired a private investigator because I'm suspicious of my husband.
What did he do?
I hired a detective last weekend. He caught my husband, male 40, with his ex-secretary, female 33, on Saturday night. Plenty of pictures. There isn't any disputing this or the happenings. Kissing, hand-holding, and back to her room together for the entire night. Zero doubt on the events of the evening. By the way, this comes from Spirited Owl 2020, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Carly.
I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, they were at a weekend business conference. I suspected it and was right. I actually felt like complete crap in the lead up and to a lesser degree still do. But his behavior was a bit off for a couple of weeks. I had that terrible gut feeling. I let him know over text this morning that he was caught. Read the receipt, but no reply. I didn't state any intentions. I just told him I would take a break to gather my thoughts. He should do the same. And I need to see if I can find a way to trust again. As expected, today has been a roller coaster of emotion, anger, and tears galore. This is the absolute worst feeling ever. I wish this on nobody, which leads me to the next thought. Do I send the pics to the secretary's husband? I'm conflicted on that. I'm not a vindictive person, and it's not intended to hurt the secretary. But my thinking is that I would want to know if he had found out instead.
Yeah, I was going to say, sorry to interrupt, but like, I feel like, yeah, you don't want to bring more people into the mix, but if you were...
This is a relevant person.
Yeah, it's a relevant person with a relevant person in the party here. If it was switched, would you want to know?
Yeah, and it seems like you do. So I think yes.
Like it.
I would give him the, hey, you better tell her to tell the secretary's husband, or one of you, like, she should own up to it kind of thing. But if you guys don't, I'll do it for him.
If you want, you could either tell him that, secretary needs to tell her husband, or if you fear, like, retaliation and you're worried about that, then just do it anonymously.
But even then, they can't legally, like, retaliate that in the workplace.
No,
they might, but they technically.
Yeah. But this emotional pain is so heavy, terrible to inflict on someone. I haven't shared it with anybody. I feel this is our issue at the moment. Anyone I share with will simply hate him forever. Well, I don't think that the secretary's husband's gonna like him.
Like, this isn't your doing at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like, you might be the one to break the news, but it's like his wife did it.
Yeah. I have so many pics of them together, I stopped looking and moved them to a folder on my PC and zipped them up. Looking at them just stirs me up. I feel absolutely horrible that I did this, but I also realized that I needed to confirm the affair. Am I a horrible wife for hiring a detective? Didn't he break the trust first? Should I share the pics with her husband? Is taking a break a reasonable strategy?
Is the screen all black now?
Yeah, they blacked out because of how insane those questions are. OP?
Yeah.
Let's just take a minute
Back
and
it up.
breathe. Because, I'm sorry, a break? That is unreasonable. Break up. Divorce. Should I share the pics with her husband? Yes. Didn't he break the trust first? Yeah. Don't feel bad for literally anything that you did because he cheated on you, girl. There is an update, but OP, you need to go to therapy because if you think that him cheating on you is in any way your fault, yeah, we need to work through that because it's not. Your husband cheated on you and sucks and you need to divorce him.
Divorce.
Update. Where to begin? For those that remember that he turned off his Find My, I was mistaken on the timestamp. It was before anything went down one day. That's still a huge red flag. Anyhow, the events went like this. He was sleeping with the secretary when he received my message calling him out. He was with her?
Yikes.
And we're still debating.
Yeah, wow.
We're debating this.
Like
divorce?
taking a break. I mean, I think.
No, we're not. We're beyond. Like, break is not our debate. Divorce.
No, yeah.
Divorce.
You should not be going on a break. You should be divorcing.
I think it's a huge, like, whoa, what's going on kind of thing. Gather yourself for sure, but divorce.
Get a lawyer.
Yeah.
He immediately went completely mental, dressed, and left the room, not before throwing his phone into the mirror.
Oh, that's real good.
He's like, this is your fault.
The hotel will bill us plenty, I'm sure. What do you mean us, girl? This was confirmed by his best friend, who went back to retrieve his belongings and the remains of his phone.
Oh, he's so sad that he got caught.
Oh my goodness, this guy sucks.
Boo-hoo.
He ended up as a complete wreck at his best friend's house. He was bawling about how he ruined his life, which he very well may have. He has been staying there in their guest house. We have not had any contact. His best friend's wife, my bestie for 20 years, came by this morning and is worried about him.
Excuse me?
Your best friend of 20 years just came over to you and said, I'm worried about your husband.
I'd be like, okay, tell his affair partner to take care of him.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, where's my worry?
Yeah.
Are you worried about me?
You worried about me? I've been here alone.
They are bringing him into the main house. She was to pick up a new phone for him later this afternoon. She said he is no condition to talk to me. He's a complete wreck, and they are worried for his life. I don't know if I could be friends with these people after this.
I can always have sympathy when something's getting to that extreme of a point that they want to like make sure that a human life is okay first.
Absolutely.
But then it's the return fact that they haven't seemed to check in.
That's
with
my
you.
point. Yeah. It's like, yes, we don't want this person to take his own life. Of course not. And we want to make sure that he's in a place where he doesn't do that. But the fact that there's been zero concern for OP is kind of astounding to me. They are monitoring him. He's been just laying in bed, crying off and on. And as far as they can tell, he has not slept. If he doesn't soon, they will get him something to help. They brought him food, and he has hardly eaten.
Boo frickin' who?
Yeah, I think at this point we call the 311 line or whatever, and we bring him in somewhere, and he can get like professional treatment
help
for that.
That's
staying at your friend's house isn't gonna really be much help.
No, where they're like freaking waiting on you hand and foot after you cheated on your wife.
And now you want the sympathy
thing
of the
throwing you
world
into
for
this
that?
spiral is that you had an affair.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have a pretty tough time having any sympathy for my best friend's husband who cheated on me.
I would get him help, but he wouldn't be staying alone.
Exactly. Now, a quick background on the friends. She is my best friend for life, probably 20 years. We are extremely close and confide in each other about everything. Her husband is now his best friend. They were in our wedding. They have been close for 12 years. These are both professional people. They call BS when needed. They do not react poorly under stress, but are pure no BS. He can stay there as long as he needs, but knowing my bestie, she'll have his butt cleaning house or doing yard work. No pity party over there.
It sounds like right now that's what it
Crazy.
is.
This is crazy. What?
Yeah, I was gonna say, why is OP not? OP should be the one over there, and he should be the one be by himself, kind of thing.
She
Well,
did
yeah, I
mention.
don't think he can be alone, but
Yeah.
you get him checked in somewhere and they help.
it. She did mention that this morning she went into his room and basically berated him for 30 minutes, told him to shut up and listen, and she will likely come back with more. I honestly don't even.
I'm just kind
Like
of
that.
confused.
This feels like, for all of my summer, the summer I turned pretty fans,
Spoilers.
this feels like how everyone treated Jeremiah after finding out that he cheated on. But it just feels like everyone is coddling him. And then even in her, like, oh, I just totally went off on him. It doesn't even feel like I'm protecting my best friend. It feels like I went off on him so you guys can get back together. Like, that's what
No,
it feels
I
like
didn't
to
get-
me.
I didn't get
I
it,
don't
so
know.
you can get back together.
That's kind of what it feels like to me. It feels like they're taking care of him because they want their two friends to get back together. While I have sympathy for his current situation, it doesn't have a whole lot of bearing on the bigger picture. I still need to work through my next moves. I'm back and forth on divorce, but I never want to react out of emotion.
You should. You
React.
should react so hard with
React.
emotion and divorce this man so quickly.
I was gonna say, put a little bit more emotion into it.
His drama is meaningless. I thank you all for the excellent advice. I received 150 or so DMs, mostly helpful. A few guys looking to help me pick up the pieces.
Yeah.
Gross. A
Bad
couple even
Reddit.
sent their pics. Gross. A couple solicitations to online counseling dollars. Pretty crazy stuff here. I did get some great links to online articles that seem helpful. The last thing I would like to mention is the divorce him people. I totally get it, and I am leaning slightly that direction.
Lean harder.
But at the same time, I'm a believer in responsibility and being responsible.
It's
Those
your
are two of the same
responsibility to
things.
divorce him now.
We're in this marriage for better or worse. Girl, what?
No, yeah, but there's also in those, if
Huh?
you're going to be quoting your vows, I'm sure that there was something in there about being faithful
Yeah.
to one another.
I'm sorry. I really cannot get on the same page with people who are like, well, it said, till do us part. I've got to stay in this marriage no matter how deeply unhappy I am.
It also said be a good person.
Yeah, come on. OP, please. For your own sake, do not stay in this marriage where this person cheated on you and has no remorse. The reason that he is crying and freaking out is because he knows he has ruined his life.
He didn't even apologize. One, I mean, even apology is not gonna do anything. But the man got caught through his phone. But by the way, he got caught. When he got caught or told, he was with the affair partner.
He was with her when
and then
she texted him.
I guess never came back home. Never tried to own up to it. Just cut off contact.
Once apologized to her. That's it.
Yeah.
This is clearly the worst. Infidelity may be beyond the scale of the worst. It really hurts. I've hardly eaten or slept, but I don't want to pull the trigger on that too quickly. Building trust again would be a huge task. Building trust based off what, though? Like, genuinely, what is there to build off of?
Yeah.
There is no base.
It's all broken.
There's nothing. You're building on sand. It's going to all crumble down. Before even considering that, I need to think this through. His current situation will garner no pity from me. He did this, and this is the beginning of the price he will pay for his actions, regardless of the outcome. I would likely sleep later. I am beginning to resolve myself to the whole situation. We have no children, but we are considering it maybe next year.
Nope.
Do not have children with him.
No.
He has really been wanting them.
I don't care.
I don't believe that whatsoever.
I don't care.
He's
been
been
go have
wanting
him with
them?
his secretary.
Yeah, I do as well. But if we reconcile, this will push that timetable or possibly even take it off the table. OP, if you are saying right now to me, you're saying,
stay with this man.
I'm going to stay with this man, but I'm going to give up my dream of children because I no longer trust him to do that.
No, I think she's saying I'm staying with him just to have children.
No. She said, this will push that timetable to have kids or possibly even take it off the table.
I was taking that as take it off the table because she's going to divorce him.
So I think she's saying if we reconcile.
I was taking that as it could also be because divorce, though.
Yeah.
Which it should be.
It should be divorce. But I think she's saying, oh, well, I might give up on my dream of having kids if we reconcile because I don't trust him, in which case you do not trust him enough to reconcile. Rightfully so. Money is not an issue. He does well and will survive without me. I work part-time from home, and I'm pretty set for life. He would never go after assets. That's simply not him. Yes, I know divorce changes people. And then OP says, I feel I know him better than that. Even if you did, it would not be a major impact. I don't think you do know him.
You hired an investigator.
I genuinely don't think that you can say that you know him when he cheated on you, which is not your fault, but I don't think that we can expect anything out of this guy when he's already behaved in an unexpected way. There is an update. I do want to point out also that OP literally said, I haven't eaten and I can't sleep. Same things that OP's best friend is telling us that the husband's going through. And yet, where are her best friends for OP?
Yeah.
Nowhere.
I don't know about that one.
Nowhere.
I'm not on the completely throw out your friend things. We don't know if they're there or not.
I don't know. It doesn't seem like
they're on my radar.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like they've been there for OP at all. At least, we haven't heard that.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah. But there is an update. He messaged me last night, appeared apologetic and full of shame. He wanted to call or come over this evening. I told him to leave me be and I will let him know. He has done nothing but apologize about his behavior to me and our friends. He feels he has done irreparable damage, and he has. Our previous relationship has ended. TBD if there is another in the cards. My bestie came over early this morning, let herself in, and surprised me with breakfast and flowers. Okay.
Where was this at the beginning?
Finally.
Where was this in the beginning?
I think this has been happening. I think we just weren't hearing about it.
I don't know.
He's staying at that house because he is 12 years of friendship with that couple.
Yeah.
But OP's 20 years.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I was just saying I don't think we heard the side of it. That's why I was like, don't get rid of these friends. They're still your 20-year friends.
She insisted I eat and said she would stare at me until I ate something. She said he is very remorseful and would not elaborate on him anymore. This is about you. We went for a run and it seemed to clear my mind. I work as I please, so I have no work schedule, which makes it easy. She'll stay the next couple of nights. We are going out to dinner tonight. Maybe a getaway this weekend to Cabo or something warm. I may not have been clear, but we have no children. I am 32 years old. We do have a prenup, the reason being because of my cash windfall. Well before marriage, is well into 7 figures, nearly 8. I don't need money. If the marriage were to go south, he would simply get a $500K payout. that is in place for 20 years from marriage date. I could possibly fight that payout as well, but I really don't care about it. The house is paid for. His settlement will only be $500K and personal belongings. My bestie is referring me to a therapist and an attorney. I am investigating all courses of action. I will not send the proof to her husband at this time, not until I consult with the attorney and therapist. This isn't straight justice, but if after consultation with them it makes sense, I will. One thought for my bestie is to have the attorney serve as proxy. He will be moving to their guest house on the weekend. He can stay indefinitely, and she will require him to pay her $750 a week. He can have no visitors and does not have house or pool privileges. He must park in the street and pay for a housekeeper weekly. By the way, you guys can have the privileges of listening to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left to this story. It seems like OP is on the way to divorce.
Yeah, I feel like we are leaning to divorce. Thank God.
Thank goodness.
That needed to happen.
Yeah, it seems like, we're getting a little bit more about the friends taking care of OP, which is good.
I'm still kind of wondering, unless I missed it, did we ever tell Secretary's husband?
No, she just said, I'm not going to tell him until I talk to a lawyer about that.
Ugh.
Which I think is fair in terms of just making sure you're good legally.
I just don't see why you wouldn't be.
Yeah.
And if not, you can't, your friend say it or something.
Yeah. Couldn't you just kind of work around that?
He's staying there. She could have overheard it.
Yeah. I think it's good that they are doing it in this way of, making him pay for everything and making sure he doesn't have any of these privileges of living in the house. I don't know how I, as a best friend of someone, could be around someone who did that, though.
I'm okay with it only because I think that the husband has the friend with the other husband, but I would also like to think that as a human, you wouldn't want to be friends with someone that just did that.
Yeah, that's
but I could understand in the crisis beginning.
I think short term,
a short term, this man is suffering, even though he did it upon himself. We can give him some short term grace to get back on his feet, and then it's bye bye.
That's exactly how I would approach it. Yeah, because if I'm actually worried about someone's well being, I'd be sure. But in the long run, I'd be I don't know if I want to be friends with this person.
That's why I'm the rule set up is good, and it probably will hopefully motivate him to not stay long.
Yeah. You just you say, you actually can't leave the pool house. Unless you have a doctor's
house. It's yours now.
But there is a little bit left. The hotel billed him $600 for the mirror and room cleaning. He reimbursed my bestie for the phone replacement for his own account. He has an account with a few thousand for spending money. I have full access to it. We have joint credit cards. His have limits less than $10K each, all advised by the attorney that did the prenup and estate planning. I don't appreciate the harsh DMs. I also don't appreciate the guys asking if we would like to meet, nor the one that offered to be my personal spicy slave.
What?
Yikes. Just sick. Finally, divorce is absolutely on the table,
Yay.
but so is reconciliation.
No.
You had half of it right.
I didn't get to this place in my life by making rash decisions. This is not a rash decision. It all has to be worked through and planned.
Yeah, I fear you're going to be stuck in this place because you're not willing to make a decision.
You might get a rash through his decisions.
Yeah. Honestly.
God.
I hope that you got tested, girl. Genuinely, for your safety, I hope that you got tested because this, man, that's the end of that story, though, and we've got another one coming up.
My husband thinks that I cheated, so he secretly ran a paternity test. Dude, that's not cool. My husband, 27 male, and I, 25 female, have been together 6 years, married for 3. Our relationship has always had a bit of trust issues from both sides. I figured no one is perfect, and it never seemed to be that big of a problem. But obviously, now with this situation, I feel like I missed a huge red flag. And by the way, this is relevant. I am white and my husband is black. By the way, this comes from You Are the Father 26. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Angie.
And I'm Savannah.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We just know what we would do in these situations, so let us know what you do in the comments. And OP says, we had our first child 2 years ago. Things were great. My husband is a wonderful father and very involved and supportive. Our daughter looks like a perfect mix of the two of us. Our daughter was a planned pregnancy, but our son less so, although we were pretty careless with protection around the time I conceived. My husband was just as great during the pregnancy, and he did a lot with our daughter to give me breaks when I was sick. He took the week of my due date off and pampered me the whole time. Literally, the minute he saw our son, that all changed. He actually walked out of the delivery room. Wait, what? So perfect for the first daughter. Now that this son is here, just immediately absent father.
He's like, I want another woman.
Like,
I want another girl.
I wanted to be the only man in the house. I wasn't really focused on him at the moment, but it was tearing me up until I saw him again, which was when he brought our daughter to visit. He basically ignored me and our son the whole time. And what are you even there for? You're at the hospital to visit your wife who just had your second child, and you're ignoring your wife and your second child. What are you doing there?
Yeah, why'd you take the week off?
Not much else to do at the hospital. I knew something was wrong, but I couldn't really figure it out. I thought maybe he had been hit with a crazy new father-son feelings and was wrestling with them, so I left him alone for a while. Finally, last night, I asked him what was going on, and he said he'd email me because he was too angry to talk about it.
That's crazy. I'll email you. I'll see it in the emails.
Yeah.
I hope this email finds you well.
Check your spam folder. Make sure it doesn't get lost in there.
That's crazy to be like,
crazy.
I'm going to send you an email, even though we live together and have children.
Yeah. Like, that is either a sign of just how old the story is, that like texting wasn't as like crazy of a thing, or that's just an even more insane thing to do.
Yeah, I have no idea, but I would never be like, I'm too mad, I gotta put it in an email.
I'm gonna send you a pigeon. I can't handle it right now. This morning, I received his email, and it was basically him saying that our son is a white baby, and he is clearly not the father. He told me he won't be involved in me or our son's lives until he gets a paternity test, proving that he is the father. This really blew me away. I haven't told anyone I know yet because it's so new. I am kind of hoping that he's being a crazy dad and we will laugh about this soon, so I don't want to tell anyone and taint their image of him. At the same time, I am pissed because he is saying that he thinks that I cheated and he can't even talk to me about it. And right now, I think he's really stupid. Our son is much lighter than our daughter, but he still looks like his dad. I am not doing the test, but I don't know how to reply to his email other than a big F you. I feel like if I say no, he will just divorce me, and I don't want this to tear up an otherwise happy family. We do have some relevant comments here. Put 80 says, just to clarify, did you cheat on your husband? Your post is filled with indignation, but you never actually state that you didn't cheat, and there is no way that the baby could be someone else's. OP says there is 0% chance that the baby could be someone else's. I did not cheat. In fact, my husband is the only man I have ever had spicy sleep with. I am indignant. We do have an update. 3 days later. Do we think the baby is going to be the father's, or do we think it's someone else's?
No, I don't think OP has like a reason to cheat. She never said like, you know, like, oh, like I was, you know, whatever, blah, blah. She wouldn't be like posting this if she had just cheated. Like, I feel like.
Totally.
Yeah.
I think she would know. Oops. She'd be like, oh, he caught me.
Yeah. Like that would have been the title.
Yeah.
So I doubt that she had any, you know, like infidelity throughout the relationship. But it's like weird that he thinks that just because like this baby came out and doesn't look like him.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a huge red flag. Like, this is the reason that trust issues are not good. You know what I mean? Like, and that you should not have jealousy be a normal thing in your relationship is because of stuff like this, because you don't know how people are going to react to it. People are going to bring it up in random situations and be a little bit unpredictable in how they react. So yeah, we want to trust each other.
Oh my god. Okay, story time. I need your help. My mother-in-law just crashed my bachelorette party, and now I have absolutely nothing to do on May 23rd.
Well, I've got just the thing. Go to okop.show and get tickets for our first live show for you and your girls.
I don't know, it kind of sounds boring.
Do you think watching people's real problems get fixed in front of a live audience is boring?
Wait, actually, no. That sounds like an incredible girls' night.
That's what I thought. So come see OK Storytime live on May 23rd at 7 p.m. at the Stray Theater for $20 and leave your mother-in-law at home.
We want to trust each other. But update, 3 days later. Just to clarify, since many people seem to focus on this, neither of us have cheated. By trust issues, I meant unwarranted jealousy, I guess. For example, we used to have a rule about not hanging out with the opposite gender friends alone, but that was when I was 19. The rule has basically ended as long as my husband knows about it. Already, I hate that so much. Please don't put that rule on any relationship ever, you guys. It's not good. Now, it's mostly him getting nervous if I take too long to answer texts or something. Well, I answered the email with a simple, our son is your son. We will talk about it when you get home. My husband came home that night completely different than he had been in the 2 weeks before our son has been home. He actually picked him up and talked to him, which was the first time he had done so. I was doing a little art project with our daughter, and then it was dinner time, so we didn't have a chance to talk until she was in bed. Based on the advice here, I had been prepared to discuss why he immediately went to cheating and then consent to the test. Then he told me that he had already done the test the first day our son was home. But when the results came back for him being the father, he was still paranoid about me cheating now that the birth had planted the seed. What? So he sent me the email basically hoping that I would confess. Okay. We've gone too far now. Now we're like past the point of return.
This boy is so insecure. It's crazy.
So insecure.
And I don't understand why. It's not like OP has ever done anything. Like she never gave like, examples. Like the only example she was like, maybe I didn't answer my phone quick enough.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
that's crazy.
No, exactly. So when I didn't confess, he decided it was finally okay to trust me. And that's why he was much more pleasant. I told him I want couples therapy, and he said no, which is what he always says when I've asked him in the past. And I wanted to say that I would leave him if he didn't, but the reality is I really can't raise a toddler and an infant by myself, and I don't want to have to split custody. Our holidays were pretty much ruined. I can barely look at him. But luckily, it was the son's first time out, so I had an excuse to be busy. This morning, before our daughter was awake, he actually did apologize and said that he could see how much everything was hurting me, and if I wanted therapy, he would do it. I said okay. Though I feel like the time to say that was 2 days ago. I don't mean to hold a grudge, but I'm feeling like I just don't love him anymore. Always wanting me to tell him where I was going and who I was with was one thing, but accusing me of cheating and denying our son is a whole different thing. He's been a great dad since the conversation, but it's like 2 weeks too late. Not the update I was hoping to give. I wanted him to come home with flowers and apologies and say that he didn't need the test, but we'll go to therapy and see how that goes. We do have some relevant comments here. Pam Topra says, looks like he has trust issues. Has he cheated on you before? Some people get worried that they may get what they deserve. I would have asked him if he had cheated on me. Why would he be that worried? Something must have happened to him. Either someone cheated on him before or he has cheated. Opie says, after reading these comments and doing a little Googling, I'm afraid to ask. I will bring it up in therapy. Honestly, kind of smart. Bring it up with a third party person there. So, anything crazy can't happen.
That's true. It is smart. As much as you like, I would be like, oh no, like let's not involve. But like that's the whole point, is to have them involved. Right. Like, I want to keep this to myself.
That's like why you're there.
Yeah. Oh wait, we're paying for this. Yeah.
Work through your problems. Yeah. But we have an update. So it's been a year since my last post, and so much has changed. I've been lurking on Reddit most of the time and occasionally debating updating, but the amount of messages I received that had the N-word in it made me hesitate. But I feel good about how everything is going at this point, and I hope this might help someone else. My ex and I are no longer together.
Knew it. I freaking called it.
Thank God. He bailed on the therapy at multiple points, and his behavior became more and more unstable. See? I told his mom, and she tried to talk to him about it all. In response, he moved out and basically disappeared. We are not divorced, but we have had no contact since February 2015. Okay, so this is an older post. The longer we spent apart, the more I realized how free I felt. I downplayed his issues a lot in my posts because I was still stuck in it all. I was not allowed to leave the house hardly at all while caring for our daughter. I had no friends and limited contact with my family, and even though he had his good moments, he was just horribly mean in the most underhanded way. telling me I was eating too much, asking why I hadn't showered that day because I smelled when I didn't, making comments about hoping our daughter didn't grow up like me. Oh my God. It was never that he hit me or screamed at me or even got mad, so it never felt like that big of a deal to me until I had space. That's how they get you. That's exactly what will happen. That's exactly what I was thinking would happen in this situation.
Yeah, this guy's just like, he just doesn't get it for some reason, and I feel like it's just like, I guess normal brain, like you see. It's okay. So like being in the situation is a lot different from being outside the situation. And it sucks like, cause now like she's noticed like, oh, like I was hardly allowed to leave the house. I was never allowed to do this. I didn't have friends. I had, like low contact with my family because of him, all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you don't realize that when you're in it. Cause it's like, this is all I need. Like he's providing, he's doing this for me, this, and the other thing. And I feel so happy, blah, blah, blah. But like, it's like breadcrumbs. I think that's what they call it, like breadcrumbing, where like they give you a little bit and then it's like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy, blah, 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 all this stuff. And then like, then you're like miserable and then they give you a little bit more and it's like,
yeah. Because
like,
I think what happens to like, because they kind of tell you what they want you to feel in those situations too. You know what I mean? So it's like,
for sure.
It's like if things are good or if you're like stopping yourself from going outside and like making friends and stuff like that, it's because like you're doing it for them. And he probably told her like, well, you're doing that because you love me. So it's good that you're doing this for me because you're just loving me and you're being a good girlfriend, a good wife. But then when she gets out of it, she's now realizing, oh no, those were rules. That wasn't like out of love. That was control,
That's how they get you.
That's how they get you. Keep an eye out, people. But you should also keep an eye out for more episodes of stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast platform. Just search OK Storytime. There is more to this story. My kids are doing great. My daughter misses her dad a lot. He really did treat her well, but I know she's better off without him. His mom is still a big part of our lives, and that helps. I've started working, and she watches my kids during the day. I'm glad they aren't completely losing that side of their family. That's nice. I love my job, talking to my family often, and being able to just go to the store without being interrogated. It was difficult at first to adjust, but now I wouldn't go back for anything. We aren't divorced and don't have a custody agreement, which I know I need to do now. It took me this long to really feel stable and able to tackle it, but it's my next step. And that's the end of that story.
Wow.
Well, good for you, OP.
Yeah, OP, you never know until you're out of it how much you like were unhappy and miserable. And I'm glad that you have now found your peace and be able to have freedom like any normal person would be able to. And also the fact that like his mom's kind of on your side, which is great.
That's great. Yeah, honestly. That's
always
nice.
a great feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I'm so proud of you too for realizing that, because it's so easy for people who have been in these situations to just fall back into it again. Like, I'm not blaming them at all. Like, it's just easy to do. But it's very impressive, and it takes a lot of work to understand what went wrong and to like not allow yourself to get into that in the future. So good job. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
My boyfriend belittled my biggest achievement, so I snapped at him.
Oh, wow.
Time for a new boyfriend, right?
Might be.
Last week, I, female 41, took my boyfriend Tony, male 42, 5 years together, out on a date to celebrate a huge career milestone. Since 2014, I've been working towards a very comprehensive project from concept to reality. What would that be? I took all the steps, got into a better situation 6 years ago, and I got commitment from investors to make it into its next phase. Important to the story, we met in college, and I've always considered him smart and a bit of my dream guy. I thought we would have a quiet dinner, reaffirm being there for each other, and then go have spicy sleep. Instead, I had to hear him ranting, saying how unrealistic I am, that I'm biting more than I can chew off. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
That's so mean.
Uh-huh.
Sounds like you can't handle a girl boss.
Yeah, I mean, some insecurity there.
Yeah. What kind of insecurity would you say is here so far?
Let's dive a little bit more into the story.
Okay,
a little more context before I can really diagnose.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to make this too long. So the whole thing sounded like, who do you think you are? From him. I had to explain there's no way I'm trying to bite off too much. I've built my credibility, have worked very hard to establish a decent track record, and acquired a solid associates to bring additional standing for our project. Still, he made very derogatory remarks, the kind of ones he does in disbelief or chronic disapproval. And nothing is going to happen, that I'm stuck and I compromise myself, for which he is concerned. I am mad at myself for not saying anything on the spot. Instead, I've been overthinking. He and I had plans to get married, raise our kids in a blended family, and grow old together. He didn't congratulate me. He didn't even give me a celebratory kiss. I haven't cried yet because I'm numb. The things he said struck a chord in a bad way. So basically, he thinks that I've been lucky. I did talk to him about it after I went to my place, and he doubled down with suspicions of cheating on my part? Oh my gosh.
Where'd that even come from? Wasn't this a work-related thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whenever you and your partner, gets a big promotion at work, what's your initial reaction?
Happy for him. I mean, if you see yourself as part of a team, his wins are my wins are his wins. So there really shouldn't be any competition in a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
They've been together for 5 years?
5 years.
Okay. And she works in possibly tech, got a large investment into her project, probably a round of funding.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I'm thinking.
And he's saying that she got lucky.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't sound like luck. And she's been working on this project for, was it 6 or 7 years?
6 years.
6 years.
That's a long time.
Lucky over 6 years.
That's pretty hard work.
Come on.
Yeah.
By the way, this comes from Mean Tackle 93, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Riley.
Hey, I'm Casey.
And I'm Carly, and today we have a very special guest joining us. We have Casey Lee, founder of Life Partner by Casey Lee, and a woman's dating strategist based in Laguna Beach. She helps high-achieving women attract emotionally available, commitment-ready partners using a psychology-based, intentional approach to dating. One she used to meet her own husband in just 3 months. Now, through her Husband Attraction Mastery program, Casey helps women break unhealthy dating patterns and choose partners with clarity and confidence. We're excited to have you.
Yes, we have never had a dating coach on before. Yeah, so
Excited to be here.
Good. We're going to be getting so many good tidbits from you for our ladies here in the chat. And by the way, we're here to give good advice goofily. We do have an expert, so she's going to help us. I'm going to be goofy. And if you guys have anything you want to add, please add them in the comments down below. So Tony is an engineer. So real quick, we got Tony, who's an engineer, OP, which is our author, who's seems like she's killing it in the workforce. They're both in their 40s. He says there's no way I could get this far. I asked if he's mad because my project would also include his industry, which he's very proud of, and he denied it. This is like an ice bucket to my head. We tried to talk 2 nights ago at his place, and I left feeling worse. He says he wants a partner to enjoy life together, that I'm too old to dedicate myself to a massive project because I should have done it earlier. I don't understand. Since years ago, he wanted a successful woman for himself. Interesting. He said I needed to make up my mind between my reality, which is our tangible relationship, and my perceived new developments. I reminded him about what he said, and that his words about me cheating or sleeping my way through my careers was especially disrespectful because he knows I had a bad situation early on at some point and was concerned for my safety. He says I was being manipulative. Oh my gosh. No sympathy whatsoever right here. I couldn't even continue this conversation if I was with him.
Wow, those are some crazy revelations.
The thing that confuses me was early on, he said, I want a successful woman.
Mm-hmm.
What's this new thing here? It sounds like he wants someone, when he says the thing that kind of got my mind to go crazy was, I want someone to enjoy my life with. Sounds like he kind of wants someone that's not as ambitious towards their career.
Okay, so it sounds like he has a little bit of anxious attachment style. Like he's afraid of being abandoned by her, by this new project, right? So
For 6 years, she had been working towards something, but there was always a chance that she may have failed. So he didn't quite show his true colors yet. But the moment she got a big investment or a big round of funding, all of a sudden he's fearing like, oh my gosh, she may leave me, or she may be so consumed by this project. And that fear of abandonment, that need for reassurance, is very typical of an anxious attachment style.
Oh my gosh. I did not know that was a style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So have you heard of the 4 attachment styles?
No.
Okay. So there are 4 attachment styles that most people fall into. And the first is the healthiest style. That's secure, healthy attachment. That's the style that everyone wants to work towards. And that's when you feel comfortable with yourself. You feel like you have self-worth. You feel that you can love someone else fully. You're not afraid of vulnerability. You can handle conflict in a very healthy way, and you can communicate clearly. The other 3 insecure, unhealthy attachment styles, over 50% of adults fall into.
Oh, goodness.
I
probably fall into one of these.
I know, I did too. A lot of people do. And it really springs from your childhood, your upbringing, right? So if you grew up in some kind of unhealthy, emotionally unsafe environment in some way that impacted you, and then later was reinforced by your adult relationships, you will tend to develop an unhealthy, insecure attachment. So the 3 types of those are anxious attachment, avoidant attachment, and disorganized attachment.
I've never heard of disorganized before. The other 2 are familiar, but what's disorganized?
Disorganized is a combination of both anxious and avoidant. And another term for it is called fearful avoidant. That's a synonym for disorganized.
Yeah.
But to kind of walk you through real quickly, like what are the traits of each type of insecure, unhealthy attachment? So anxious attachment is when you fear abandonment, when you need a lot of validation or reassurance, and when you also have a tendency to chase after emotionally unavailable partners. And then avoidant attachment is when you fear vulnerability. And so when you feel like you're getting too close to somebody emotionally, or when there's conflict and you can't get through to somebody, your instinct may be to shut down or run. And then the third is disorganized, which is a combination of both anxious and avoidant, which has a very much of a push-pull behavior. So you want love, you want to get close, but then once you get close, you get afraid and then you push away.
Oh my gosh. I'm just looking back at all of the things. I think I'm in the disorganized part there. But since being on the podcast, I feel like I'm more in the secure part. But I do remember, like, if I'd have like a conversation or something, and I feel like I couldn't get through to someone, I would just shut down immediately. But you're saying this person has an anxious attached style, correct?
It sounds like it, just based on the context of the story, because he is fearing abandonment, which is why the moment something great happens for her career that will monopolize a lot of her time, all of a sudden he's saying, like, you're not prioritizing our relationship, you're not prioritizing our future goals, and he's seeking that reassurance and that validation from her. And then, that's obviously an insecure, unhealthy way of communicating. I don't know if he's recognizing that behavior.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it. Oh my goodness. He called me last night like nothing happened. I broke up with him and told him to look in the mirror and ask himself why he was dumped by all of his exes. He said I was using very personal things that he told me against him and that it was disappointing. I texted him back and said I'm not responsible for his reactions when he was so inconsiderate. By the way, you can listen to more considerate stories just like this on your favorite podcast platform. Just search up OK Storytime on iHeartRadio, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. We have a little bit, I think, I'm seeing if there's an update for this person. But, I mean, you would break up with this person, right?
I'm almost curious, like, whether or not she saw these red flags earlier on in her 6 years, because 6 years is a very long time to all of a sudden have this epiphany that this behavior is coming out of nowhere. There must have been signs earlier than now that perhaps she may have overlooked.
Yeah, a lot of times when we read stories like this, they'll post it, and then in their update, it's like, oh yeah, this red flag, this red flag, this red flag, because they're like actually taking a second and a beat, and it's like, oh my gosh, I was being mistreated throughout in these so many other areas. So it probably will hit her in like a week or so. But that's usually how it goes, is like one bad conversation, then, oh my gosh, the red flags. So OP continues, he has been asking me to apologize since he woke up. He sounds weird and a bit depressed, and he says I used painful situations in his past for leverage. His ex-wife divorced him, his ex-fiancée cheated, and left him before the wedding. I don't feel like I owe him anything. I didn't mention anything specifically, but I just said it's his fault that his women run for the hill, figuratively. Am I the a-hole for refusing? Although I think this affected him mentally. But didn't he also say something very personal that happened to you and accuse that whenever he was like, oh, you were just sleeping your way to the top?
Yeah, where did that come from? I mean, like, was there solid evidence or any inclination that she did? Or is that just a defensive behavior that he just threw out so that she could stop accusing him of his behavior, perhaps?
I think so. And the way the conversation went is he accused her first and then said that and brought up her past because she like was harmed early on, and then it went back and forth. But yeah, it's just kind of crazy that the second the fingers pointed at him, he's like, whoa, wait, you can't do that. You can't use my personal things against me. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness, these people. We have an edit. He works the same job since he graduated college with a very well-recognized company that comes with status and stability. He has access to nice things, and it's not like my project will affect his company. Yeah, that is so weird. So what would you say is the reason he acted this way? Or like, is because of his attachment style?
I think so. I mean, like, it seems like the context based on all the information she shared in this post, he was abandoned by his ex-wife. Well, he was divorced. And then he was abandoned by his ex-fiancée. So there's a pattern of him being abandoned by people that he loved, people that he thought he could stand beside for a very long time. And perhaps this is just another reminder that the people that he loves will leave him, because obviously starting a new venture, a startup, is very time consuming. It takes up majority of your energy and your time. And I would think that it does spring to his anxious attachment style that is clearly unresolved because he's gone through multiple women and he still has this attachment style that he possibly unrecognized, and he's not aware of it right now.
Someone mentioned actual drop air says maybe he's taking the red pill. That could. Do you know what the red pill is?
I don't.
Oh goodness, Carly, how would you like explain the red pill?
I don't even know how I'd start to explain that. Basically, just like, has he been hearing from other people like a lot of, I feel, just like pro man things is the best way to put it. Like, men are better than women and stuff like that. And if you get red pilled, it's gotten into your head so much that you believe it now.
Yeah, it's like this whole goodness is like Reddit, like the toxic areas of Reddit, or like 4chan, and it's like women haters kind of thing.
Like incel stuff popping up.
Yeah.
Toxic masculinity,
misogyny. Like, to the max, and it's just like all they're hearing. So then they get red pilled because then they're like, well, if all these men are saying it, like.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, I really am curious, like, what has happened in these 6 years, and there has to have been a pattern before this. You know, like, usually attachment styles really come out during conflict. That's when you really see them in full force, because during conflict, that's when you feel the most vulnerable. When you're with someone you love, you've hit a wall, you've hit a roadblock, you're not able to get through to them or communicate with them in an effective way. And then therefore you feel like your heart's just laying there on the line. Yeah. And you're seeing how they respond to your insecurities.
Yeah. I'm assuming you have a secure attachment style, but before you found your way to that, what kind of attachment style did you have?
Yeah. I had an avoidant attachment style.
Oh.
Yeah. So, you know, your attachment style is very heavily influenced by your upbringing, right? So observing your parents, your caregivers, the kind of home environment that you lived in, and then is later reinforced by your adult relationships. So growing up, I witnessed, you know, a lot of unhealthy relationship dynamics between my parents, and I developed avoidant tendencies. I was afraid to fall in love with the wrong person because I knew that they would hurt me. I was afraid to truly trust someone because I've seen the pain that someone that you love can inflict upon you. And so I knew that I had these trust issues. I didn't know how bad they were until I was dating my husband. He was the first man that I really saw a real future with.
Wow.
Yeah. And so even after like 15 years of dating, I had been in relationships, but none to the extent where I was serious enough to seeing a real future with someone. And so it was only until he was the one actually that pointed out some of my conflict management skills that were underdeveloped while we were dating.
Yeah.
And that I had the tendency to shut down and run away when things got hard. And he was the one that encouraged me to work on them, because otherwise, how do you grow from that when someone is constantly shutting down and running away when things get hard? And so I really committed to therapy, and, you know, with his encouragement and then just seeing how safe his love was, it really did help me develop into a secure attachment, which is what I have now.
I love that, how safe his love was. Wow. How did you take that whenever he first pointed it out? Or how did he bring that to you?
I mean, it had happened over and over again, and I had recognized it as well, because he, you know, pointed it out to me that, hey, you know, like the way that you keep fighting is not healthy. You know, you can't keep running away when things get hard. How are we supposed to grow our relationship if you keep doing this? You know, we talk about building a future, we talk about marriage, you know, show me that you can actually work through these roadblocks. And so that's when I realized, you know, if I don't work through these things, I may lose this incredible man that I have been waiting for 15 years to find. You know, I can't keep doing the same patterns I had been doing before. And so, you know, he and I are both really growth oriented and really committed to evolving in our relationship. And so that's kind of when I really hunkered down.
Goals? You guys are, oh my gosh, I want to be like you guys. That's so awesome.
Thank you. But I will say that don't wait until you find the right partner to heal your attachment style, because if he wasn't patient enough, if he wasn't kind and empathetic and compassionate enough, I could have lost him.
Yeah.
Right? You don't want to wait until you found the right person, risk it all, and then realize he was the one that got away.
Oh, and then you're like, so many movies about that. I was watching The Great Gatsby. That's kind of like his whole arc is like Daisy, the one that got away, and he's doing everything he can to relive the past. Oh, no. Could not do that. We do have some questions for you. A question I just thought of is, when you are working with your clients, it sounds like, is this one of the things you work on them with, or what are some other aspects of their personalities that you work on them with?
Usually when a new client comes to me, the women that I work with are naturally very growth oriented, which is why they seek mentorship from someone who's experienced in my field. And so when they come to me, you know, first we go through her dating patterns. She walks me through her dating history. What are the struggles that she keeps encountering, whether it's not being able to get past the third date, not being able to attract quality men that she wants to build a future with, or, you know, either getting ghosted or finding herself in situationships. And then from there, once we kind of unveil her old dating patterns, then I'm able to assess what could be her attachment pattern. And we kind of talk through that. Usually, most people over 50% of adults have developed some kind of unhealthy attachment pattern. So whether anxious, avoidant, or disorganized. And then from there, she's able to come to these revelations like, wow, maybe it's because of my anxious attachment style. That's why I keep chasing after emotionally unavailable men. Yeah. Or that's why, I keep feeling like, for example, I do work with widows, and many of them do have anxious attachments because they have, you know, their husband who they loved left them. Yeah. And so they fear that someone who I love is going to leave me and leave me vulnerable. And so once we identify that, then we kind of determine how deep is her trauma. And either I recommend that she seeks therapy before we work together or alongside our work together, so that she can heal the subconscious that could be holding her back or repeating these same old patterns. And then from there, once she's gotten to a better point of healing, then we work towards skill building, and we work through learning the dating and healthy relationship skills that are required to navigate the dating stages with ease. Yeah. And then also how to learn what your non-negotiables are in a partner, because that's the only way that you can target him and therefore attract him.
Yeah. Wow. That's pretty comprehensive right there. But with someone that has a growth mindset, that's probably like, oh, I love this. This is This is perfect for me.
My son demanded a paternity test of his wife, so I demanded one of my own.
It's a double paternity test. Wow.
I, 55 male, have 3 children, 2 girls and a boy. My son is my oldest, and up until recently, I thought he was a decent man. Unfortunately, my daughter-in-law, Tessa, 32 female fake name, showed me I was wrong when she revealed to me that the reason she was divorcing my son was because he cheated on her multiple times and gave her an STD.
Oh, yikes.
She made a social media post with pictures of text messages and show video recordings of messages he left proving her side. I was shocked, and when I confronted my son, he said that she over-exaggerated and that the only reason he did what he did was because she wasn't putting out, which, as we all know, is the legal loophole. Being an adulterer and being unfaithful.
Dad, you don't understand. I had to cheat on her. She wasn't giving me anything.
Oh, you gotta get it. I needed some more pushnani, dude.
I didn't want to break up with her because that's work.
She wouldn't give me any of the pushnagi, man. Tessa gave birth to their second child 7 months ago, and their first child is 3 years old. I apologized to Tessa for my son's behavior and then yelled at him for being so selfish, intentionally hurtful, and cruel. I did not hide or downplay my disappointment and was only silenced by my wife's defense of our son. I remember how hard it was when my wife had our second daughter and couldn't believe she didn't have a shred of sympathy for Tessa. Tessa is a sweet and smart person, and she didn't deserve what our son did. My wife has been letting our son stay in our house despite my wishes, saying that he needs our support, but I say he's in need of a hard lesson. We fought about this constantly.
Yeah, I feel like Tessa, who has a baby, needs your guys' support.
Yeah.
And also maybe, also confirm has an STD. So she's pregnant and also has an STD.
Did she give it to the baby?
Not a great combo.
Eventually, my son accused Tessa of getting the STD from someone else and demanded a paternity test.
That's wild.
Smart man.
Well, what if it was you?
What a genius. Actually, no you. Your Honor, I rest my case. I knew these claims were complete bullcocky and saw red. I yelled at him for it, and his mother came to his defense and told me a man had every right to know if his kids were his. I countered with demanding a test of my own, and my wife was offended, and I moved out.
So, lady, what did you just say, girl? Girly pop? You just said a man has a right to know if his kids are his own?
Said, okay, keep that same energy, babe.
Yeah.
She and my son sent others after me and either lied and overplayed what things were like at home, and I just got tired defending myself. I was going to let things be until either my wife or son contacted my job and made hurtful accusations about a female employee that I've been mentoring for the past year, and that's when I snapped. I'm filing for divorce.
As you should.
Dude, shout out your son. What an overachiever, ruining 2 marriages
Yeah.
at the same time.
Good job, bud.
The house is paid off, so I'm willing to let her have it. But until a judge says so, I've stopped putting money in any of the accounts that she has access to and only make payments to the credit card with the $4,000 limit so she has money to buy groceries and get gas and pay for her other expenses. I've also changed my main beneficiaries to my daughters and told my son if he wanted a single cent of my money, he'd have to take a DNA test. He later did, and he passed. I responded with an email acknowledgement that he was my son, as well as a copy of re-updated wills where he will receive 10% of my assets.
Which I believe is like the lowest you can do without, so that they can't contest.
Can you make hawking a loogie in someone's face an asset?
No, I think that's a DNA test.
I would give him 100% of that.
Up a two.
All my loogie hawk assets go right to your face. My wife and son are demanding a public apology, but I don't feel like they deserve it. Am I wrong?
So far from wrong that I don't even know why you're here. What are they demanding a public apology for? That you said, oh, I need to know that you're my son when he did the same thing? Is he going to give a public apology to Tessa?
Yeah, honestly, after my son cheats on his wife that is just had their second child and then tries to play the Uno reverse card on it, and my wife goes, you know what, he has a point, I would go, hey, now I need to make a point. Did you cheat on me? Because you seem to be very cool with our son doing this.
Yeah. I mean, so supportive. I think there's a way to support the people in your life that you love who have made massive mistakes, but it's not just giving them a free pass and supporting them in those massive mistakes.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta put a boot in someone's rectum.
Yeah.
This guy needs that.
There's a boot in my butt.
That's what people say.
That's Woody.
It's Woody. Yeah, Woody says that.
I know. It was a joke. The joke is that I said the wrong guy.
Oh.
It's magic.
Joke, guys.
Edit. Just to be clear, since people seem to be skipping over it, my wife called my job and accused one of my mentees of getting special treatment in exchange for special favors from me and other men in the company. Ugh. Can she get prosecuted for that?
Yeah, I hate that.
So she went and dragged some other person into this and was like, actually, she's sleeping around with all of the men in the company.
So incredibly stupid when you seemingly also benefit from OP's income to try and take away his income.
Wife's a dummy.
Yeah.
She made such a big public stink that HR is investigating, and my mentee is considering leaving due to the embarrassment and stress. Not to mention the damage to my own professional relationships. There's an update. Yeah, I mean, hopefully this should be all very easy to prove that that's
Sorry, my
targeted.
wife is crazy, and I really hope that you can work through that at work. But very clear divorce, open shut divorce case here.
Yeah, you might as well be walking on plexiglass, because let me tell you, brother, those are clear grounds for divorce.
Oh!
Update, 1 month later. In short, the young woman who I was mentoring talked to HR and is leaving the company and will be suing my wife for defamation.
Heck yeah!
Except how much of that's just going to be your money?
Yeah, I would divorce her real quick.
I am also being pushed to leave despite HR clearing me of any wrongdoing. A lot of people in the office just give me dirty looks and or keep their distance. I've also gotten a lawyer. She feels confident that because the evidence of my wife's blatant attempt to sabotage my reputation at work, I can just give her a lump settlement instead of alimony. You gotta give her anything after she did that?
Yeah, crazy.
That's insane. My lawyer also agrees to a lot of you in regards to not just giving my wife the house, but rather sell it and split the profits. I'm back in the house for now, per my lawyer's advice, and it's pretty miserable right now. Definitely drinking a bit more than I used to, just trying to hang on. I've also had some hard but honest conversations with my daughters, and I have come to accept that there are certain aspects of fatherhood that I failed in. I did show up to school events and spend time with my children, but overall, I let my wife do the majority of the parenting, and she favored our son. I just never really paid much attention, and my daughters didn't feel as if they could talk until now. However, they're still willing to have a relationship with me and are on my side with the divorce. I haven't spoken to my daughter-in-law much, but she did send me a thank you text for standing up for her. Thanks for reading. We got another update 4 months later.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Listen to your lawyers, folks.
And on the other end of this, I'm glad that you're having real conversations with your daughters who clearly have been affected by this dynamic their whole life. Now you're getting into the nitty gritty of it, and I love that. So keep at it.
4 months later. Okay, here's the update. Filed for divorce a few months back and returned to the home per my lawyer's advice. But my wife and son have not made it easy. I had to take video of them accosting me to a judge for them to finally back off or be forced to vacate the home. I also have a lock on my bedroom and office doors and a small fridge in my office. I also go to my oldest daughter's house a lot for dinner for some peace. And I also think it's really convenient for when we have our deep conversations. I've also attended a couple of video therapy sessions with my youngest daughter to help her unpack some of her issues. Ultimately, my daughters decided that in spite of it all, they still want me around and can see that I'm willing to listen and respect their boundaries, so we're solid. I left my job, but was given a decent severance package and work as a freelance consultant for other companies in the same/similar field. I don't get paid as much, don't have as much security, but it's something, and the free time allows me to help out more with the grandchildren. My daughter's children, not sister-in-law. Sister-in-law has decided to keep her distance until the divorce is finalized, and she has primary custody of both the kids. My son is allowed to keep the oldest overnight, but almost never does, and won't visit the youngest since it's still a baby who prefers breast milk to formula. And by the way, I prefer you listening to full episodes with stories like this one on your favorite podcast platform, iHeartRadio, or wherever else you listen to podcasts. Just search OK Storytime. Mwah, and there we are. Yeah, your son sounds like a scumbag. How did that happen?
Yeah, I mean, his mom. OP wasn't around as much as the mom was. Mom favored the son, let him get away with anything. Daughters weren't favored. And there you go. It's easy as pie.
I mean, you'd think he might at least hit a Marty Supreme type vibe and, his child is born and then he goes, oh my God. I guess spoilers for Marty Supreme.
I haven't seen it yet. I think, OP, you made the right decision. I think your relationship with your daughters is much more important than your relationship with your stinky son. And I think your daughter-in-law is going to really appreciate how much you've been, on her side and backed her up.
I think you should leave shrimp in the shower curtain rods when you're in the house.
You'll never find them. And then you tell her, no, you keep the house.
You say, I'm going out of town temporarily for a week and a half. I'll be back to my house that I live in and own. And you let them have week and a half stinky little shrimp. Oh, stinky repulsive.
One time I wrapped a piece of shrimp for a gift because we were doing White Elephant and I forgot to get something. And so I just went upstairs and got one of the pieces of shrimp and wrapped it up really quick. And my uncle got it. And he was like, what is this? And then he ate it. Okay, let's finish this. My former mentee is suing my wife, who had the audacity to ask me to pay her legal fees.
That is so funny. Like, oh, wait, sorry. Wait, you want me to pay the legal fees for the lawsuit when you tried to ruin my career and my job?
Hey, buddy, did your ex-wife slither out of a swamp? She's trying to snake you.
She's got snake oil.
Her divorce lawyer seriously asked for that, and she's trying to get the house. Last I checked, they were going to settle, which will end up having to come from her portion of the sale of the house. A sale that she was trying to stop by not approving any of the repair people I suggested, so we could fix up the house in order to get it ready, as well as wanting to dispute its value. It's taken a judge's order to get her to finally back off, and I'm basically going to have to foot the bill for the repair and realtor fees if I want to get this over with sooner rather than later. Unfortunately, the judge also agreed that the more I pay toward getting the house ready, the less I have to pay out to my wife, so I see that as a win. Absolutely. The less liquid assets you have to give her, the more you've won. Yes, put all of that money into the house. Put so much money into the house that she owes you money.
Yeah, I hate this lady and her son.
Sell it to your friend. You know what? Yeah, definitely sell the house to somebody you know.
Sell it to
so that
the
you
mother.
can still go be in the house.
Sell it to your daughter-in-law.
Sell it to your daughter. Sell it to anyone who hates your wife.
Yeah.
Just please.
Sell it to that girl, the mentee.
Yeah, sell it to the mentee.
Yeah, and she can use the lawsuit
And
money.
then no one will think any funny business was going on between you two.
Brilliant.
Can you imagine the office gossip after that?
Yeah,
and then he literally bought she bought his house and they exiled his ex-wife and son.
Nothing could have been going on with them, right?
I don't even think he lives there. He literally just sold the house to her. Can you believe that? He sold her a house.
She paid for the whole thing.
And then they go, wait a minute, hold on. Something's not right. She bought the house. Is it romantic to sell someone a house?
Unless...
What if you did the HVAC and the plumbing and the walls and the floor?
Could be more romantic.
I don't know. All I know is that story is over.
Sure is.
And your ex-wife sucks.
Sure does.
So does your son. He's a scumbag.
Yeah, in order it goes your son, then your wife.
He just was like, Pops, you don't get it. I did this because she wasn't giving me any of her sweet little punchani, dude.
And then had the audacity to ask her to get a DNA test.
And then his mom was like, he's right,
He's right in it, you know.
A man has a right to know, but not you.
And then she's gone.
I'll be leaving in Johnny, no papa.
No, papa.
Which is code word for lying. Lying about you. Johnny, yes, papa.
No,
Eating
papa.
sugar, no, papa.
Eating apple.
No, papa. Open wide.
I actually have seen this terrifying video.
You have?
Oh, wait.
What?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know about Johnny, yes, papa?
No.
It's a whole thing. But we got another story.
I'm ready.
Story. I'm ready too. My boss was cheating with a student, so I exposed him.
I hope not to any more students.
I, 27 female, am an English teacher in Japan. I work at a company that sends me all over the prefecture to teach. My furthest class is 40 minutes away. It's mainly women in their 40s and 50s. I alternate the class with my manager, 41 male. Let's call him Dave.
Okay, now that we contextually know this is
40s.
in Japan.
Well, and also we contextually know that all the students are in their 40s and 50s.
Japan has a birth rate crisis, and you're not helping, OP.
Dave's married to a Japanese woman and has a toddler. Ooh. A few weeks back, I was teaching our shared class. The students wanted to ask me questions during the warm-up. They asked if I had a husband and questions about my family back home. One of them, we'll call her Mika, 43 female, suddenly asked if Dave had a girlfriend. And I said he's married with a child. She looked shocked, as did the others, and they pushed me again to confirm, so I did. By the way, this comes from Credit Electronics 6730. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Dakota.
I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, I hadn't thought anything of it until last week when Dave called me into his office. He was visibly upset. He asked if I told the students about his family, and I said that I had. He was super angry and told me to never talk about his family again with students.
Especially the ones that I'm sleeping with.
He's like, if they ask, you say nothing. You just stare at them.
You say, I don't know anything about him. He sprang forth from the earth.
I was still a bit confused, but apologized and said, okay. This week, Mika wasn't in class, and I noticed she wasn't in the attendance roll. I asked the others, and they said she quit the class. Oh, dang. It all made sense now. When I left class, Mika was waiting for me. She asked me if I was telling the truth about Dave or if I was confused. I said nothing. OP's following Dave's rules. But pulled out my phone and showed her his Facebook photos of him and his family, which I made sure to screenshot. I went to the head office this morning to teach, and Dave came into my classroom after class, and he was very angry. OP said, I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. He closed the door and loomed over me, saying, I told you not to talk about my family with students. I asked what he meant, and he asked me what I said to Mika. I said I didn't say anything, and that she technically wasn't a student anymore, so I didn't see any issue.
Ooh.
Oh, and that's called a loophole.
Get loopholed.
I then said he seemed awfully concerned about me telling the students about his family, and that perhaps the owner of the school would like to know why students were quitting his class. He stormed out. I'm quietly hoping this is the end of it, but something tells me there are other students that think he's single. And we've got an update, but what do you think? What do you do
I want to
here?
know how many of those students think he's hot. Look, I don't know. Keep your head down. Tell his wife. Those are two opposite things.
But that goes against the famous song, Gotta Keep Your Head Up. Hey.
Gotta keep your head up. Oh.
My advice is to go to the head of the school, actually. Especially if he's threatening you. The head of the school.
I think that's what was getting Dave in trouble in the first place.
The head of the school? I don't think anyone's gone to the head of the school yet. I think it's just Mika being like, I thought you were single. And he's like, stop talking to Mika. She doesn't want to date me anymore now that she knows I have a wife and child. But we got an update. Edit. Thanks for all the comments. I got a Facebook message request from Mika and I accepted it. She sent me screenshots of texts between her and Dave. Let's just say they were spicy. I think she's heartbroken and I feel sorry that they got duped by him. He's so trash. Today we had a monthly staff meeting. The owners talked about a new contract they won and the staffing. At the end, Dave got up and gave a speech about keeping teachers' personal information confidential for safety reasons. Is that why? Is that why you want it?
For the safety of my affairs, my secret affairs.
I glared at him while he spoke. We don't have an HR department because we're a small company. The owners are a Canadian man and his Japanese wife. I'm still torn about whether or not to speak with the owners. I'm worried that it'll be easier to get rid of me versus Dave. And we've got a second update. What do you think?
I think Japan needs those babies.
Okay, Dakota doesn't have. Keon, what do you think?
Japan needs more babies.
You guys have terrible advice. OP.
That is a fact.
I'm not asking for facts. I'm asking for advice.
They need those babies, and if
He's
has
not
to
even
make
making babies.
100 babies with 100 different students who are all 45, then so be it.
Okay, First of all, the people that he's cheating on are in their 50s and 60s. I don't think they're having any more babies.
They're 40s and 50s.
It said 50s and 60s. He's 40. These women are in their 50s and 60s. They're not having more babies. He's just cheating with them. The only viable person here to be having babies is his wife, who he's cheating on, presumably not sleeping with her.
OP, you need to take Dave as your new secret husband and save Japan.
OP's not even from Japan.
Where are they? I thought they were in Japan.
Yeah, she lives in Japan.
Yeah, so
She moved there.
yeah, get with the program.
Okay. Update 2. I had a very interesting conversation with another teacher, let's call him Jim, after Dave's teacher privacy speech at the staff meeting on Monday. Jim is a 36-year-old American male. He had a wife here who's currently pregnant. He said that he helped Dave host a Christmas party for students at another center back in December. It's a center where I haven't taught. Jim, during the party, said that some of the students were asking how his wife was doing with the pregnancy. One made a comment like, "You'll be the first Gaijin foreign teacher to be a father at the school." And Jim started to say something about Dave, and Dave quickly cut him off and changed the subject. So some of the students were like, "Oh, Jim, you're going to be first dad." And Jim's like, "No, I'm not." And then Dave was like, "Oh, yeah, you are."
Yeah, he did. Shh, I'm single Dave right now.
Jim thought it was awkward, but hadn't thought anything of it. I told Jim about what happened with Dave and Mika. He told me I have to bring this to the owners. Although he doesn't have proof of Dave doing the same thing at the other school, he said it seems sus. I made an appointment to see both managers on Friday afternoon, and I've decided to show them the screenshots that Mika sent me. Wish me luck. I'm so nervous. And we're barreling on through to the next update. I had my meeting today with the owners. The Canadian owner, Brian, came to the meeting. His wife, Naomi, couldn't make it. I was honestly so nervous because I really liked this job and didn't want to jeopardize it, but was concerned that Dave wouldn't let it go. There is a lot of travel involved, but I can study on the train between classes. I printed the screenshots that Mika sent me of the spicy text exchange between her and Dave, so I had receipts. I also kept a record of dates and times where the events happened. When I sat down, I felt absolutely sick. Brian asked if I wanted water and looked very concerned. I started from the beginning and made sure to apologize for talking about another teacher's personal life in class and that it was an honest mistake. I told him about Mika sending me a message request on Messenger and the screenshots which I produced from my bag. I told him that Dave had cornered me in my classroom, and finally I pulled out my employment contract and pointed to the clause that stated it is strictly prohibited to have a relationship with a student outside of class, and I said it was likely the same for Dave. At this point, my hands were shaking and I felt sweaty. Brian sat quietly for a minute processing and looked very concerned. He said that it was an honest mistake on my part and that he was glad that I had the courage to come to him with the information because it looked bad from a business perspective for teachers to be dating students. He told me not to worry about Dave, that he was the one who was in the wrong by crossing a line with a student. He said he'd talk to Naomi about the situation and decide the best way forward. He also said my job was safe and not to worry about it over the weekend. I'm not sure what's going to happen with Dave now, and I'll update next week when I find out. Do we think that OP's going to keep her job? Do we think that Dave's going to lose his? What's in your mind?
I think OP's getting fired for not being pregnant enough.
Let's be realistic.
This is terrible business.
That seems like the most plausible. Like, oh, Dave gets fired, OP's good, but I don't know. What if like the turntables here? What if the tables are turned on OP and like OP gets fired, Dave still works? What do we think?
Dave gets fired. In an unquenchable thirst for vengeance, he creates a small army of babies by impregnating every 50-year-old woman he comes across.
I am going to mute you.
This is a terrible world that you live in your mind.
This is not my world. This is Dave's world.
This is your world.
Yeah, clearly, Dave needs to be gone.
Edit. I went for drinks and with some other teachers last night. After a couple of drinks, we were more relaxed, and one of them said that Dave had been trying to dig up dirt on me the last week or so. He asked if I hung out with students outside class or if I'd been late to class. He's going to show up to Brian and be like, well, yes, I was sleeping with Mika, but OP was late. I don't hang out with students outside class because it's prohibited, so I'm safe. I didn't tell them about Dave and Mika because I'm sure it'll come out next week. Seriously giving desperate vibes on his part, and I'm desperate for you to listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Please go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and just listen to OK Story Time. But we got a little bit left to this story. Final update to finish us off. Any final comments? Not on the Japanese birth rate, please.
I was just going to say, you should have told on Dave. Told on him right away.
Tell on Dave. Like, why protect him in any form?
Does Japan have a very anti-snitch culture or something? Like,
yeah, it's rule number 1, snitches get stitches.
Maybe it's universal.
I feel like OP's trying to go about this in the most,
I think she just doesn't want backlash.
Exactly. Like, she's trying to go about this with, like, no, like, remorse, like, nothing coming back to her. Just like,
no remorse?
Not remorse. I can't think of the right word, but, like, it doesn't come back to OP.
Retribution.
Yeah, retribution. Nothing like gets back to her, and like it's gonna get nip OP in the bud.
That's fair. But there is a 5th update. I ended up being out of the office last week because I was filling in for a sick teacher. But I'm at a group chat with some of my colleagues, so I was kept in the loop. And they said on Monday, Dave had been taken off the teaching schedule. There was an announcement on Friday that Dave was leaving the school. That was a week after my chat with the owner. I am honestly shocked that it was that quick. I've just come out of a meeting with both of the owners. They said that Dave decided to quit. After some gentle nudging,
he decided to quit to focus on his family.
I copied a lecture on not talking about other teachers' personal stuff in class from the Japanese owner. The meeting ended on them thanking me again for coming forward, so a bit confusing meeting all in all.
That takes care of that.
Oh, I think maybe they said it copied a lecture. I think they, again, went over the
maybe
personal
copped.
Stuff.
Maybe they copped a lecture.
I don't know.
Copped the
yeah,
lecture.
I copped a lecture on not talking about. I think OP is saying that the owners once again said, Dave's gone, don't talk about personal stuff, and thank you for coming forward. Well, that is the end of that story, and we've got another one coming right up.
I found out my husband cheated, but I swallowed my pride and forgave him.
Ugh, throw it up.
I'm female 30, out of town, and got a follow request on both Facebook and Instagram from a girl. I get a few of these regularly, but with that one, I somehow had a weird gut feeling and started to shake. Instead of accepting, I messaged her asking if we knew each other, to which she replied we don't, and that she gets it might be awkward, but she'd like to discuss something with me in person as soon as possible. Since I'm out of town and she's a complete stranger, I said let's discuss online, and she said it's about my husband, male 31. I immediately knew the worst was coming. I just got a "hey girl" text telling me my husband has been cheating on me 2 weeks after our marriage. She said he's cheating on me and I deserve better, and that it's not continuing anymore as he broke up with her today. She told me it started a few months ago when they met online and then in person. She knew he was married because he told her. She asked him why he was cheating and why he got married in the first place, to which he replied that he felt pressure from others since we'd been together about 10 years when he proposed. He also said, marriage is just a big expensive party and nothing more than a piece of paper. By the way, this comes from Wooden Talk 6707, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Savannah.
I'm Dakota.
And we're here to give some good advice in a goofy little way, but we don't have all the answers. We'd only tell you what we would do, but let us know what you would do down in the comments. As OP says, I asked why they broke up, and she said it's because he's basically happy in our relationship and doesn't want to risk it anymore. She said he was visiting her when I was coming home late from work, and even had sleepovers when I was out of town. I told her not to tell him I know, since I'm going to confront him in person once I'm back home. We've been married for 5 months, and he basically started to cheat right after, still telling me he loves me and everything. Especially since I told him I want to start a family next year. I have no idea why she told me now and not sooner. I actually don't have any proof, but they definitely know each other because she knew I was out of town since he was supposed to meet her today but ended it instead. She also told me he had cheated on me once before about 8 years ago. We just had the most perfect honeymoon in summer, and even now he's sending me hearts in chat like nothing is wrong. What am I even supposed to do? And there is an edit here. I'd already scheduled a message to her saying I was thinking about what she told me, and the only thing I'm missing is evidence, as it's a big accusation and her word against his. However, I decided not to send it yet because right now I can't handle seeing any proof with my own eyes. I never wanted her to reach out and throw her burden on me instead of carrying it herself.
What?
Yeah, wait.
Excuse me? What? You said I wish that the person who told me my husband's cheated on me multiple times never told me?
So you're saying I rather just not know?
Leave your husband. Leave your husband. Ugh.
I know my husband at least to some point, and believe it or not, he's a sensitive and caring person. I know that once I bring it up, even without evidence, he won't gaslight me and will admit it. If he says it's not true, then I'll demand to see his things or reach out to her, but talking to her brings me anger and anxiety right now.
But I'm sorry, I thought you just said that you knew him, so you knew that he wouldn't lie to you. So if he says he didn't do it, why would you even need to look at his stuff since you know him so well? Girl,
yeah,
you're pissing me off.
She's like, if he admits it, then I know he's a good person. But if he doesn't admit it, I know he's lying. And I'll just catch him in his lie.
And this is the classic, like, she's getting mad at the girl who told her, which, like, yeah, be mad at her because, like, she only told you when it was convenient for her.
Yeah.
But, like, now you know.
Mm-hmm. He'll be asking how my weekend at my parents' was. I'll tell him I met some childhood friends and actually made a new friend and that he wouldn't believe what happened to her. She found out the married guy she was supposed to spend her weekend with broke up with her while his wife was traveling, so she decided to tell the wife. The plot twist is that he's the guy, I'm the wife, and the new friend is the girl who reached out to me. Then I'll wait for him to process it and have a conversation from there. Girl, I don't even know why you're even playing the game. Just be like, by the way, I know you're cheating.
Yeah, I found out you cheated on me 8 years ago from the woman you cheated on me with 5 days ago.
Yeah. It doesn't have
but
to be a whole
it was
lot.
so sweet of you to break it off with her because you value our relationship so much.
We've known each other since I was 16 and he was 17, and I considered this man my best friend. I was just rereading the vows he wrote me. He didn't give me any real clues to worry about, and he even bought me flowers last week out of the blue. I know that to the majority of you, I'll look naive and like I'm not learning my lesson, but for me, marriage is something sacred, something I wanted with him from day one, so it's difficult to let go without trying counseling first. I'll let you know how it went once I talk to him tomorrow evening. So far, I'm playing the everything is okay card, so he has no suspicions.
I hate all of that. I mean, actually, no, the only thing I don't hate is that if you are going to try to stay in a relationship that there's been infidelity, you have to do counseling.
Yeah.
That's the only way to get through the other side.
Yeah, and even then, it still might not work. Like, you can't just be like, oh, like, counseling, we went to counseling, now everything's all right. Like, you still have to put in the work for it. Edit number 2, I have a therapy session booked for Monday evening. Edit 3, she just reached out, saying that if I want, we can still meet in person and she can show me the conversations they had. I saw it in a pop-up when she texted on Instagram again, and I haven't opened the message yet. Update. This week has been a complete roller coaster, and I had to take some space to process everything and focus on healing. Once I came home, I confronted him and he admitted it. I knew I didn't need physical evidence as he's not the type to gaslight anyone.
Did he also admit the time he did it 8 years ago?
Yeah.
Or did he keep that one close to the vest?
We had a 3-hour conversation where we discussed everything very openly, and we both agreed it was one of the most honest and transparent talks we've ever had. I told him there's no need for secrets anymore since the worst thing has already happened. He met her online on Discord as they were watching the same streamer, then started playing an online game together and chatting more. It happened 2 weeks after the wedding, but he met her in person about 2.5 months after that, and overall they met 3 times, the last being over a month ago. The wedding is just a piece of paper comment was a bit out of context but still hurtful. He meant that we'd been together 13 years and he doesn't split our relationship into before and after the wedding, always looking at it as a whole.
Yeah, that's a real damage control type of way to reframe that statement you made to your affair partner. Jeez, girl.
Yeah. I mean, if this is what you want, OP, it's what you want, but...
I feel like the whole time that y'all are talking, he's like, "Oh my God, she's taking the bait. Oh my God, she's taking it.
Yeah.
She's doing it. She's doing it."
The reason he got married was that he knew it would make me happy, as I'd wished for it for a long time. He felt that after the wedding we grew a bit distant, that we didn't have intimacy as often, and things became routine. He started thinking this was just what his life would be now. I was his very first partner, with just one other experience when we were separated about 7 years ago.
What was that? What was that? 7 years ago sounds a lot like 8 years ago.
Yeah. Update 2. He liked the attention and the feeling that he was still relevant and desired. In some twisted way, I get it, and I told him we'd both had those feelings at times, but the difference is I didn't act on anything. He broke it off because he loves me and realized that even with the distance between us, our relationship is more important to him than a few minutes of physical pleasure with someone else. He said it was nothing but fun for him and he never sought anything more. He had a lot of remorse and was reflecting deeply on the pain he caused. I asked if she also saw it as fun, and he admitted she was getting more attached to him.
Oh, I couldn't have guessed that. So the reason that he broke off the affair is because she was trying to make a relationship out of it, and he said, no. And so now she's, yeah, dude.
This is solely for my enjoyment. I don't care about you or my wife.
And he spun it back on you and said, yeah, I was feeling neglected. Bro, you just got married.
What do you mean?
What? You know what you do when you have feelings? You talk about it. You don't go cheat on somebody because you're watching the same streamer on Discord.
Yeah. And 2 weeks after you are married?
Pathetic.
Yeah. I think he's been doing a lot of reflecting on his life lately, as about a month ago he was diagnosed with melanoma. And although there wasn't anything serious, he was shaken by it, and I was by his side the whole time. The reason he didn't raise anything with me about being unhappy was that he was afraid of making me sad or that I wouldn't understand.
Oh, he was afraid of making you sad? You know what won't make you sad at all? Cheating on you.
Yeah, so I'll just go behind your back so then you'll never know.
This is the last time I'm going to say this for the rest of the story. But girl, I hope one day you can pull the wool over your eyes and realize that you deserve better than this.
I told him that's what hurts the most, that we could have had a conversation and made changes, since I always try to work things out instead of being toxic. He didn't even try to fix things first. He took that chance away and made a decision for both of us by taking a shortcut. I told him he needs therapy, not for me or our marriage, but for himself, because infidelity was a symptom of something bigger. I honestly think part of it comes from the household he grew up in. His mother was a wonderful, caring, loving woman, and his father cheated on her and they eventually divorced. He admitted therapy may help him work through those underlying issues. He said the affair was the biggest mistake of his life and took full ownership, never once pointing to anything I'd done wrong.
Which affair? The first one or this one? Have you asked him at all about that one?
Yeah. You're just going to be like, oh, well, this one's the only one that matters because this is the only one who reached out. I asked if he'd ever have told me if she hadn't, and he said no. I told him that's actually okay because I'd never have wanted to know, but I'm glad she told me because now I can make a conscious decision about whether to stay or leave, a choice that would have been taken from me otherwise. What? Literally what?
They're out there, folks. These people are out there walking among us, and I feel bad for them.
I mean, so you rather he cheat behind your back and never tell you because at least then you won't have to deal with the hurt.
She's literally The Weeknd. She says, I don't want to know if you're playing me, keep it on the low because my heart can't take it anymore. That's a song.
Yeah.
By The Weeknd.
Yeah, that's crazy.
She says, I don't want by The Weeknd. Infamously, one of the most toxic people in entertainment, The Weeknd. Yeah, he doesn't want to know. Great role model for you.
Update 3. For now, I decided not to take any hasty actions, and I'm focusing on what's best for me. I feel like I need to give him a chance to make things right, to give myself a chance, and give us a chance. I told him I can try to forgive, but I'll never forget, and that our marriage as we knew it is over. Oh. It's now up to us whether we want to build a new one from the beginning. He said he's willing to do anything and will always stand by my side, but for now, those are still just words, which is why I'm paying close attention to his actions. He already looked into couples therapy and is supposed to schedule the first session. He wants to spend more quality time together and be present with me, he's planning a weekend getaway in nature so we can focus on each other.
Can you imagine if this, like, the same logic is applied to, like, I'm going to do a sports analogy. There's a team that cheated in the World Series, and then they got in trouble for it later. Imagine if they had just been like, oh, but, it's whatever. We can just redo the World Series. We'll just do it again. We'll start over. The World Series as we know it is over. But we can just do it. You can just do it again. We'll start over. No, actually.
Yeah.
It's not even a good example because they really didn't even get in trouble for it. And they ended up winning.
Wow.
But stupid. This is stupid. A hasty decision would be staying with this guy. You need to be separated from him.
Yeah. I don't know why you're not making him, like, you're just letting this go and just being like, yep, I'm just going to swallow my pride and just, be the bigger person here.
It's sunk cost. They've been dating for like 10 years. It's sunk cost fallacy.
It is the sunk cost. He tells me he loves me every day and makes sure I feel it through his actions. We agreed to set a specific time each day to discuss our relationship, both the good and the bad, so we're both prepared for it rather than having it come up randomly. I told him I'm afraid of him getting tired of the effort over time, and he said he's fully committed to making me his priority going forward. Oh, good. It only took him 10 years to realize that. After my own therapy session, I understand this is the time we need each other the most, and that if I want this to work, I have to meet him halfway and give him positive feedback on his efforts. I'm already doing this, but I also make sure he knows nothing is fixed and nothing is simply okay. It will be a long journey, and we both know that. Yet I'm willing to give it one last chance. And there's a fourth update. I know for many of you this would be an immediate end of everything, and the past version of me would have felt the same. I'd probably also tell a friend to walk away if they came to me with this. But relationships are complicated and nothing is truly black and white. I know that if I'd messed up this badly, I'd beg for another chance and never do it again.
That's great for you. Are you your boyfriend?
Yeah.
Is your boyfriend you? Literally none of his reasonings, by the way, were really him taking full accountability for it. Every single thing that he said was him kind of trying to put you at fault.
Yeah, basically.
He's like, it just happened. I felt trapped because we got married. The thing that she wanted to do.
I just did it to make you happy.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a great reason to marry me, just because I wanted it and you didn't. So then 2 weeks after we get married, you go and cheat on me.
I felt alone. I was abandoned. And there was literally nothing I could do after 2 weeks.
Right.
I had to cheat on you.
By the way, you can listen to full episodes of stories just like this by going to Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast app, and just searching up OK Storytime. I'm just going to get right
Well, I won't lie.
it.
There's one more thing.
Okay, never mind.
Girly Pop was spitting a little bit when she said nothing is black and white.
Yes.
It's true.
It is. And I understand that, like, just because we see it, obviously we're not in it. We don't know what this is. And I understand it is sunk, what is it? Sunk cost.
The sunk cost fallacy.
Yeah, the sunk cost fallacy of being you've been in this relationship for so long, you don't really know anything without it. And it is kind of like, I'd rather work on this than try to start over with someone else. I get it. But also with something like this, when it comes to like infidelity and cheating, that's just like full blown. Like that is just disrespect. They just literally disrespect you in front of your face and also behind your back.
2 weeks after you got married,
Yeah.
and he said that your marriage is just a piece of paper.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess take that how you want, but that's pretty black and white to me. As difficult as it is to explain, he's a very emotional and deeply feeling person. I genuinely believe he's come to understand the weight of his mistakes and carries a lot of shame and regret. I think there's already too much hate in the world, and choosing to hate him would just be another shortcut. I'd rather choose understanding and see us with all the good and bad we carry inside. You can call me naive all you want, but I live by the belief that every difficult situation carries something worth learning or building from. If we're both ready to fully commit, I can see us creating a very strong bond and a sense of emotional safety with no secrets. At least this is how I feel for now, and maybe it'll be a different story in a few months. I still don't know, and I'm allowing myself the space to not have all the answers yet.
Okay, well,
take your time.
I like that ending.
Yeah. I think it is a lot to think about, and, but also I feel like you're focusing too much on how he feels.
Yeah.
And not about what he did to you. Like, you're worried that he feels bad. And it's like, yeah, he should actually feel really terrible and horrible. And, like, he should want to give you everything in the world now because that's what he should have been doing in the first place. Instead, he just completely disrespected you, went behind your back, did all these things, and then was like, well, I don't know, I just felt pressured.
I'm not going to lie, dude. As soon as he laid out the, well, I had these problems and I was feeling like, you know, maybe we were losing, like, the spice of our relationship and I was feeling a little neglected and a little lonely. But I didn't want to make you feel bad, so I cheated on you instead.
Yeah.
I would have laughed my way out of the door and never spoken to him again.
It's just like his excuses. Like, they truly are excuses. And they're not good enough. Sorry, but in my opinion, and probably a lot of other people's opinions, it's not good enough.
You just don't understand. We're different. If you want to be, go ahead.
Yeah. But that's the end of that story, and we got another one coming right up.
I believed my wife's truth for years, but now it all feels like a lie.
I don't even know what's real.
My wife had an affair that happened a long time ago, 2003. At the time, I was ill-prepared to process what had happened, and I bought into the gaslighting and trickle truth. I carried a lot of guilt and shame, and she offered the reasons and apologies. And by the way, this comes from user Resident Meaning 243, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Sophia.
And I'm Vincent.
And we're like here to give you good advice, man, but we don't know everything. We're just a bunch of goofs. So, you know, if you think you know something else, just
Prove
freaking
it.
tell us.
Prove it in the comments.
Tell us in the comments, bruh. And OP says, the actual affair was discovered through snooping on my part after feeling something was not right. This added to the guilt that I had regarding the whole situation. Basically, online gaming chats became emails and more personal communication. This led to phone calls, and I believe she admitted to spicy texting and phone spice as part of the trickle truth reveal. She also admitted to a face-to-face meeting.
She's like, we were spicy texting in person.
Yes, we were sending each other texts with our mouths, and we would seal them with a kiss.
Yeah, we were talking over. Well, we were in person. The
guy was from Canada. We lived in Florida and made a trip down, maybe for work, and met her at the banking center where she worked. Her story was that they got in the car and went to a nearby grocery store parking lot where they talked. At some point, she says he leaned in and kissed her. She says at this point, she was uncomfortable and told him to take her back to work. End of her story of that encounter.
I don't believe any bit of that.
Very nice. Supposedly, there was no other contact during this trip. She admitted to one or more phone or online contacts after this encounter. Apparently, the Canadian guy's wife found out about his trip, and maybe a week or so later, I discovered all the online activity and confronted her. Everything I know at this point would indicate there was no other contact, and I have seen or heard nothing since then to believe the affair continued. After going through all the steps of grief, denial, bargaining, anger, blah, 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 I realized I had to make a decision. At the time, it was just us, no kids, no real reasons that we would have to stay together other than the feelings we had for each other, and maybe some deep need for things to be normal. I have learned since that I have abandonment issues that go back beyond our marriage. We had, as far as I know, a great relationship up until that point. I was a retail manager and worked a lot of hours, like 50 to 60 a week, with a lot of night shifts, and she worked in a bank and had a 9-to-5 schedule. I bought into the gaslighting that somehow my lack of attention and not spending enough time with her had put her in this situation. Typing this now, obviously, sounds ridiculous, but at the time I was madly in love with my wife and I wanted to do what I could to move forward. The only friends and family I had were very intertwined in our relationship, and I felt that to save her shame, I couldn't confide in anyone else. I had justifications in my mind based on the truth she had shared, that she knew what she did was wrong and she could stop the behavior. Every indication was that this was an isolated affair and nothing I found then or since would appear otherwise. We did implement a new rule where we could look at each other's stuff at any time. I may not remember, but I don't think I ever even took her up on that. We moved on. She felt forgiven, and I pushed any emotion down to allow me to move on, which is exactly what that does, right?
That's terrible. Terrible way to do that. If you're going to get through cheating, which is really, really hard, then you have to let everything come out and you have to face it head on and go through it. Because you can't go around it, and you can't just put your head in the sand.
You just shove it down as far as you can until it's a nice little compact block of...
He actually blocked out Canada entirely. Anytime someone mentions Canada, he's like, what's that?
Yeah, he's like, what?
Canada?
What?
Canada
what?
duh?
Canada what? Canada can of corn?
You talking about Minnesota?
You talking about a can of the baked beans I got there in the fridge?
And then he just starts getting into Minnesota.
Yeah. No, I don't know. We had 2 kids starting in 2005 and are closing in on the empty nest as my youngest is a senior in high school. After lurking here mainly out of curiosity and honestly not even thinking this thread would apply to me, I was flabbergasted to see the same infidelity story repeated over and over. Some of the gaslighting and trickle-truthing reads word for word to the things I heard so many years ago. When I saw the repeated stories and many updates that showed that most cheaters' truth was likely one more convenient, partial reveal, it sent me down a rabbit hole. I spiraled pretty hard and put my thoughts together the best that I could. I have no suspicions of infidelity in the last 20 years since the known affair. We honestly never really talked about it after it was rug swept. I started looking for any sign that there could have been continued infidelity. We have location tracking on our phones that I have never seen any abnormalities in. I can honestly say that I felt every emotion that I had suppressed flood back into me. Having a belief that after all these years I had been so naive and likely further gaslit put me right back there. I think I realize now that all I did was compartmentalize the affair and took solace in the idea that she had stopped on the 1-yard line of what would have likely been a deal breaker for me in that mind space. I was able to just move on without any true healing. She moved forward without any true accountability or consequences, and I condoned that by forgetting the whole thing and acting like nothing had ever happened. My current triggering basically gave me a hard reset, and I felt like every part of our reconciliation was fraudulent, and I wanted to confront her again. In my spiral, I felt that I wanted to find some form of current infidelity that would confirm my new suspicions of how far the original affair had gone. Things I've read here seem to indicate cheaters cheat, and cheaters that don't face the consequences do not stop. That made sense to me. We share a computer in our home that she leaves Facebook and her other social media apps logged into, and I looked through them and found nothing concerning. I assume one would not leave these available if that was where communication was happening, so I got locked in on her phone. In my spinning mind, I just knew if I could look at her phone, I would find some nugget of real truth like I found so many years ago. I decided instead of snooping again, I would just confront her and ask to look at her phone. It sounds kind of dumb, but I thought it would be a good test. I had seen some scenarios where she was defensive about my son looking at her phone. She always has it with her, and I created a new scenario in my mind where that was going to be the cherry, the smoking trail, the vapor trail. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, I created a new scenario in my mind where that was going to be the vapor trail of a continued pattern of lies and cheating. A few nights ago, when we were laying down to go to bed, I asked her to see her phone. With no hesitation, she said, okay. I was actually taken aback because I was so sure she would be hiding something. Her answer disarmed me, and I told her, never mind. She obviously asked me what was going on, and I revealed that I had gone down the rabbit hole of reading other people's infidelity stories, and that it had triggered feelings in me that made me suspicious and left me with more questions about the affair from 20 years ago. Well, props to you to immediately saying that. I feel like a lot of people would just go, oh no, it was nothing. I don't know. I don't know. But you just being like, yeah, so here's actually the entire truth. Good move, I think. She was rightfully blindsided and confused and expressed all forms of what the F. I totally understood that, which not really. I mean, whatever. I guess it was 20 years ago, but I totally understood that as it had been the unspoken subject for so long. I asked her to recount her affair story, and she basically recited what I had heard all those years ago. I heard no hiccups or new information. She did give me a few I don't remember responses that, to be fair, I don't know are valid or not. I personally feel that if I had gone through such an event where I was hiding details and having significant emotional moments, I would remember a lot more clearly than what she seems to recollect. She did get really upset. I thought you forgave me. I was young and stupid. I wanted attention and felt lonely. So again, instead of
she still hasn't actually, done any of the emotional work to like work. I don't know. She hasn't
feels no
proven
remorse.
She hasn't
she feels
proven
no
that
remorse, and she feels justified in it because instead, even if it was 20 years ago, I'd be like, okay, wow, I didn't expect that, but yeah, totally understandable. Let's get into it.
Yeah, this is what happened.
She's like, ugh, I thought you were done with
that.
You could never bring this up again, and I was just young and stupid, and also remember this was your fault because you didn't give me enough attention.
I thought we agreed that you can't be mad at me about that anymore. I thought that was it. I thought it was like a one-time mad, and then you say, okay, I'll forget about it, and then you keep it inside forever.
You know my rule: one time bad, never again mad. Okay?
That's the rule.
I told her that I truly felt the trauma of the original event was triggered, and that any forgiveness I gave in the past was possibly tainted if there was more to the story. But she stuck with the story. I told her I don't believe her. I told her I don't really care about the ins and outs of any physical relationship, but I need the whole story to heal and forgive. I'm probably lying, but any emotional cheating back then was far enough to warrant a true reckoning and not a rug sweeping. Learning they slept with each other would likely only make me more upset about the broken promises of not having the whole story. I've started watching a lot of videos about affair recovery and how to heal. I'm realizing that I build walls of trauma that I force down to not deal with. This has happened all of my life. I am currently self-reflecting on all of the many times from childhood on that I have taken bad feelings of abandonment and attachment distress and turned them into a functional apathy that has allowed me to appear happy and normal. I feel like I've become a shell of a person with a shiny exterior and a hollow inside. Those feelings are not all related to the unresolved reconciliation of our affair, but I think in my relationship with my wife, it is a major factor. I know I hold resentment that manifests in ways that I do not even recognize. I've kept her at an arm's length when dealing with any true emotion as a defense mechanism, because I don't know that I could ever deal with another heartbreak. I think I've become the husband that she claimed I was when she decided to cheat. This adds to the feelings of assuming there has been or is other infidelity. If this same scenario that allowed her to cheat then exists today, how can she remain faithful? I will say she has been an amazing mother. She's an active member of her church, taking on responsibilities to help others. People looking at our family from the outside would say we should write a book on how to have a happy home. In my honest opinion, it is smoke and mirrors. We are both hurt people who do a good job of suppressing emotion and putting on veneers. Due to my detachment issues, I have really become isolated. I don't have anyone that I would confide in. I'm still trying to keep up appearances in my life to keep things normal. I figure by posting and seeing others' thoughts, I may see some hard truths, but also may find some clarity. It may also only be a chance to unload the things that are keeping me up at night. I have taken a few steps to open communication with my wife that I won't go into, but they have shown some positive results so far. Seeing this in writing gives me a perspective that I do not have when it's just in my head. And by the way, it's not just in your head that you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this one, because it's true.
It's true.
All you have to do is go to iHeartRadio or Spotify or Apple Podcasts and search OK Storytime, and you can listen all you want. We have a little bit of story left here, but
oh boy,
am I glad that your kid's almost leaving.
Yeah. I don't think it really matters if she is cheating or not right now, because you don't trust her for good reason. She has not gone through any sort of, realization about what she did, does not have, is not apologetic, it seems, even after 20 years. So I feel like this relationship cannot progress if you have not gotten over it. Not that you should have, but if you haven't gotten over it in 20 years.
Yeah. I mean, if you can go address that and y'all can get on the other side of that with her taking accountability and you finding closure, then maybe. But yeah, it feels like you guys paused 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And then just like pretended it was still going.
Yep. But, good luck.
Yeah, good freaking luck, dude.
Good freaking luck, dude.
Let's finish this story. Lurking here, I had not really seen a scenario quite like ours. I know I did a lot of things wrong in the original affair reveal. I wish I knew then some of the things I know now. I also hope maybe someone in a new affair experiencing their own crisis of chaos will see that just pushing down the feelings and trying to ignore realities does not work, and that you have to do the real work to heal. Please feel free to give any advice, admonishments, sympathies, or kicks in the butt. At this point, I do not think anything anyone says will trigger me further, and I have a notoriously thick skin, which is part of the problem. I am on the road to healing and will be seeking counseling.
Nice.
And that is the end of that story.
That's all you can do. I mean, besides maybe ending your relationship, but you'll figure that out.
Yeah. And that might be something you do from, the result of counseling.
Yeah.
You might realize that that's what you want, or that's where you're at.
I took away my wife's phone because it's taking all her time.
She won't get off that dang phone.
My 42 male wife, 37 female, has always been a very chatty woman. She's pretty much on the phone all day with her sister-in-law, her friends, family members, etc. She hangs up with one of them, and she either calls another one or another one calls her.
Yeah, her girlfriends.
This hasn't bothered me, as I'm not home all day, but recently it started to interfere with the time that we spend together. By the way, this comes from Frustrated with Phone, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. And I'm Angie.
I'm Riley.
I'm Keon.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We just know what we would do in these situations, so let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, I come down to breakfast, and she's on the phone. Literally the entire time I'm sitting there, she's gossiping on the phone with someone. Excuse me. That used to be our time to talk in the morning, but now she sits there and talks to other people. I brought this up to her, and she simply said, she works. That's the only time I have to speak to her. This is also extended to dinner time.
Oh, boy.
I arrive home. She'll have this big dinner cooked, and just as we are sitting down to eat, her phone will ring. She'll tell me and the kids to go ahead and eat, pick it up, walk away from her dinner table, and start talking. In the past, if I got a work call during dinner, she would chastise me for it. You can call them back. This is dinner time. They need to understand. You're with your family. You're not taking that call now. This weekend, we were supposed to go out for dinner on Sunday night. She got a call from one of her friends as we were getting ready to leave, which she just kept prolonging. I kept pointing to my watch and making the wrap it up sign with my hands, and she just kept swatting the air at me, telling me to leave her alone.
Oh, man.
Does Riley do that to you, Angie?
He's nodding his head yes. But
When it comes to parties, yes.
Oh, when it comes to parties.
I can only be at a party for about an hour now.
Yeah.
It fizzles so
opposite.
fast. I was recently at a party. It was like a little thing, and I enjoyed it. But sometimes I'm just like, nothing for me here.
Yeah,
I don't drink, and whenever I used to go out, it was to just talk to girls. Now I have a girlfriend, and I don't really have any reason to go out anymore.
You can talk to girls, but just non-flirtatious.
I mean, now I do, but like whenever I would go to like the club or bar, that was kind of the angle.
You literally go.
That was the motivation for going out.
Yeah, find a girl,
Really?
and it worked, and I'm set.
It sure did.
I can stay at home for the rest of my life now.
Well, I'd like to go out and have fun with you.
And here's the problem: this is my phone.
Anyway,
this is my phone issue.
It's okay, Riley. You can stay home. Angie can come out with Carly and I, and
we'll party up. Whoop, 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 whoop. And I'll tell you all about it.
you can come too. But it seems like you don't want to do that.
It just depends. Are we working out? Great. Are we gonna go play basketball? Great.
Why would we go play basketball with our girlfriends? That'd be so funny.
That would.
All right. 2 hours passed when we were supposed to leave. She finally got off the phone with Dana, at which point she said, it's really too late to go out now. I'm tired. Let's just do leftovers.
Oh my God, it is Riley.
It is Riley. When I kept slamming cabinets and huffing at her, she said,
Wait, you're just like,
She just said, wow, you've got a hair across your butt today. What's your problem? Never heard that phrase before.
I got hair across my butt. What do you think?
Hair on my butt. I got a hairy butt, and I'm not happy about it. Is that how you all feel out there, all you men with hairy butts? Not happy about it?
I don't know. Ask Riley.
Get back to me. I responded, my problem is we had plans and you blew them off to BS on the effing phone for 2 hours. That's my problem. And then you say, I have hair across my butt? Don't even effing start with me tonight. You're the hairy butt lady tonight, not me. Not me. You're the hairy butt. You're the hairy butt. Yeah.
Imagine having thin walls in an apartment and you're hearing this.
It's like, oh, whoa. And then
you're like,
your
how
gift,
hairy is that butt?
Your gift is like a razor for them.
Oh,
it's like, for their neighborhood Christmas party.
Get them weed whackers.
Oh my god.
A weed eater?
Yeah, he calls them weed eaters.
What?
It's a
I
weed
know.
eater.
A weed whacker.
They're weed whackers.
Nope.
They're called.
Weed eaters.
Wrong.
No.
Poll. YouTube poll.
I'm not polling that.
Yeah, poll it.
No.
Please.
You don't
So
deserve that.
unrelated.
Can you
to the
please
story.
poll that?
Do you really want a YouTube poll for this?
I know Whitney Anderson's on my side. Please. Weed
All right.
whacker or weed eater?
Let us know
Like,
what you guys call them.
really? It's
Yes.
Oh my god.
We have to engage with the audience, Keon.
fine.
Thank you. All
I
right.
want to see how wrong you are. Weed eater? It's really called a weed eater. That just says
It makes sense.
Oh, there
Anyways,
it
let's
is.
keep going.
All right. She said that she hadn't talked to Dana all day and needed to catch up, and there wasn't any other time for her to do it. I told her it's unacceptable, and we need to start blocking time off that both of us reserve for each other. She said that's stupid, and we live together. We shouldn't have to do that.
Oh my. Well,
So yeah, well, we shouldn't have to do that. We should just agree to the plans we already made ahead of time. We shouldn't just cancel them to talk to our friend Dana. Oh, isn't that right? She agreed that we would have a do-over and go out for breakfast yesterday morning. We planned to leave the house at 9. 8:30, I was sitting down on the couch waiting for her. 9 rolls around, nothing. 9:15, still nothing. 9:30, I went upstairs. I hear her laughing, and I walked in to find her not showered, sitting on the bed in her pajamas with the phone in her hand.
that is so annoying.
Hang up the phone, I said.
This is just someone that's just gonna say whatever they can to make you happy, but not
Yeah.
follow through.
She just straight up doesn't want to go have food with you. What's that about? Hang up the phone, I said. Let's go. I'm on the phone, she shouted. Sorry, Dana. What was that? I ripped the phone out of her hand and said into it, Hi, Dana. We're going to breakfast this morning, and Tammy can't talk right now. She'll call you back another time. Goodbye.
Time out. Your wife's name's Tammy.
Yep.
Every single Tammy I know just talks forever. I got an Aunt Tammy. She always is talking.
Yeah.
She's always calling my grandma talking. She's always calling my mom talking. Every
Talk
time I'm
to
around
Tammy.
her, she's always talking to me. And I'm like, Aunt Tammy, I gotta go now. She's always japping. Every day, my grandma's like, oh, Aunt Tammy called me.
Oh, my God.
Her sister-in-law, she's like, oh. I'm like, you don't have to answer. She's like, I do. I gotta take her to the, whatever. She got surgery.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. Guys, is that right? What is that right about Tammys? They always talk?
For all the Tammys in the chat, let us know if you're a talker.
talking Tammys.
Talking Tammys. I then hang up the phone, turned it off, and put it in my pocket. My wife went ape crap, demanding that I give her the phone back, screaming that I had no right to control her time and that she wasn't going to be manipulated. I responded, no, you're right. You shouldn't have to be manipulated into spending time with me. If you were a decent human being, you would know that that's something that you should prioritize, not see as a chore. I'm effing done. You've obviously made your choice. We're pretty much at an impasse. We haven't spoken much since yesterday morning. She said she has nothing to say unless I apologize and return her phone. I told her that if her biggest concern is having a phone right now, then we have nothing to talk about. Yeah, honestly, that's kind of true. Like, I hate that this is the situation where, like, he has her phone in such a kind of, I don't know, parental way, I guess. Like, I don't want it to be like that. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, if your issue is really that you don't have a phone in your hand right now, then what's going on? Why are you not more worried about our marriage, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know. What does Dana have to say that's so interesting too? Like,
Yeah,
what are your interests? You
What
know?
is the tea? I want to know what the
What
tea
is
is.
the tea? You
Yeah.
haven't talked to her all day? Did you talk to her yesterday? How much can happen in one day?
Like me and my boy Rex, we could like talk for a couple hours, but we have to be in the same room. I can't like our phone calls are less. His dog recently passed away, and we talked for less than 5 minutes. That's how that conversation went. I was like, "How you
That's
doing?
crazy.
How's the dog? So sorry. I love you, man. You're the best."
How
What
are
did
you
he
doing?
say?
How's the dog? That's what you asked?
Yeah, well, because he
Dog's
posted
dead.
about his dog, and I wasn't sure like what the dog
okay,
was.
okay.
'Cause he was
I thought you genuinely knew the dog passed away. You're like, yeah, how's the dog?
well,
Yeah.
it was like I wasn't too sure.
Yeah, okay.
I
But he
guess
was also about to watch a movie with a friend, so I didn't want to hang him up.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fair. That's fair. That's what Tammy over here should be doing. I'm about to go have breakfast with my husband because we just had bit of an argument last night about not spending enough time with each other, and this was literally the deal we made.
Also, Tammy, you're not thinking about the repercussions of the consequence. If you get divorced, you're not going to be able to talk on the phone all day. You're going to have to go, get a job or start handing out HAND.
You're gonna have to go and marry Tammy, or marry Dana.
Yep.
Talk to her
You do.
IRL. Do you want that? Do you really want that, or do you just want her on the phone?
Either get a job or start handing them out.
Bad Riley. Bad Riley. Go sit in the corner. Bad Riley.
I wish I had a spray bottle. Was it? He said that.
Give me the paddle. Give me the paddle.
Where is that paddle? Oh.
No.
And she took it home.
No, I did not. It's a cutting
home.
board. It's probably being used somewhere as a cutting board.
At my house.
No.
It's got holes in it now.
Oh my God. What?
To make it hurt more.
Is that what you want them to think? Is that what you want them to think, that you like in your smacked?
No, I just want to make you mad. Handy Tammy, Wendy.
Oh my God. All right. I've tried offering solutions, but she's so obsessed with that gosh dang phone that I don't think she's even hearing me. We do have some relevant comments here. A downvoted commenter says, I don't think you're behaving like a rational human being at all. Huffing, slamming cabinets, taking her phone right out of her hands and putting it into your pocket. You're acting like a child and you're being whiny and passive aggressive with her. It doesn't matter that she's behaving poorly. With that said, however, how hard would it be to say, honey, when we have time together, I need you to be present with me. Full stop. OP responds, well, you're partially right. My actions as of late are extreme, passive aggressive, and childish. I hate it. I hate being like this. And honestly, I don't think it's healthy. So why am I doing it? Because it's sadly the only thing that gets through. She has a bit of a persecution complex.
What does that mean, Keon?
I'm looking it up.
Persecution process. I said it wrong.
Oh.
She has a bit of a persecution complex. When I said to her, I'm gone from 7:30 a.m. until 6 p.m., it's important to me that we have dinner as a family. I would appreciate it if you didn't take calls during the one meal we all have as a family. Her response was, fine, I won't talk to my friends. After all, I only exist to be your wife. When you're around, I should drop everything to talk to you. I'll just tell my friends, and my husband says I can't talk to them anymore.
I know people like this.
My God. Crazy. That is crazy.
They make one small thing and they just blow it out of the water.
Yep.
There's a way to combat this. I saw some videos on it, how to combat these kind of people. I forgot how it went though. But what does it mean, Keon?
Persecution complex? All right. It means an irrational and obsessive feeling or fear that one is the object of collective hostility or ill treatment on the part of others.
Okay.
Got it. Yeah, and that's so frustrating too, because she's just, nothing can go right, because then, like OP said, he had taken calls before in like family dinner times, and she said the exact same thing, but like way less nice to him.
I don't know, man.
So
they're both passive aggressive. It's just,
yeah. Meanwhile, I pay the phone bill. Oh boy. She's on the phone with people for between 5 to 6 hours a day while I'm not here. If I try being calm, rational, and addressing the issue, she denies that there is an issue, makes it seem as if I'm telling her not to talk to anyone, and acts as if she is so isolated. This couldn't be further from the truth. When I was having one of these talks with her, her phone rang. I said, please let that go through to voicemail. This is very important. And she replied, I have to get this. I'm expecting this call from Beth. Call her back, please. We're not done, I replied. Well, I don't have anything else to say. She responded, and she picked up the phone.
Does Tammy have a job? What does Tammy do?
I'm assuming not.
She's a stay-at-home mom?
Tammy's job is phone.
Oh, that's right.
I'm assuming a stay-at-home mom. But that, to me, that, like, this is extreme, so maybe if I was actually in the situation, it wouldn't be the case, but immediately divorce. I'm going to talk to you about this problem with you being on the phone and not being present with me when I'm your husband. And in the middle of that conversation, you get a phone call and you answer it just because you don't have anything to say. What about me? What about listening to what I have to say? That is like insanely just disrespectful of you and the conversation that you're having.
She's not in it.
No.
After hearing how OP has handled things, I don't know if he's really in this. Bro, y'all are going to need a counselor to fix this. That's, yeah.
She's going to get a phone call in the middle of the counsel session.
Sean says she is a call center.
Yeah, I was going to say, get a counselor or get a phone plan. Or both.
Yeah, switch it to her money anyway.
Christina,
make her pay for it.
Christina says Tammy is a phone at this point.
Tammy she just is a phone.
No.
A phony. From what I heard of their conversation, it was pure gossip and bull crapping. So as mean as it sounds, I'm through being nice. I'm through handling this with kid gloves, and I'm through with her ignoring this and making me feel as if I'm asking too much of her to actually acknowledge me and her kids during the few waking hours we're home. And we do have an update here.
Oh, so they do have kids.
They do have kids.
So
yeah.
I'm assuming Tammy is a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah, me too. There's like, I don't know what else she'd be doing. Be on the phone all day.
Here we go. Are we ready? We get out the intervention banner.
Oh.
I don't know how old your kids are.
I have a better idea.
But if they're at the age of 5, you can get them to get a sob story going on. I feel like my mommy's down my phone instead of a mommy. What do you think, Keon?
I was going to say, you should just give her a call and then tell her your problem.
Wait a second. That's genius.
If she's only going to listen to on her phone and talk on the phone all day.
That's honestly so genius, especially if that happens in that conversation. Like you're having a conversation about her being on your phone too much.
Give her a call. Literally give her a call right then and there.
Yeah, if she goes to get another call, then you just interrupt that phone call with your own.
Yeah.
Just like stare at her. Is this the only way I can talk to you, wife?
I will say, it feels like the first generation of iPad kids is like people that were on the phone all the time.
Oh yeah.
This is what that was.
Well, the ages of this couple is like 40s, late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking Tammy back in the day when they had like dial up or whatever, like someone that can only be on the phone one at a time, hog the phone the entire time.
Oh, for sure.
Like it's one of those like
it's like the cord thing.
With the cord and like she's on it for like hours.
Totally. I think at the very least right now we need to like get her to pay for the phone plan because there's no way that she can be disrespecting you like this and then you're paying for it physically or like financially paying for it too.
Yeah. Mesa Racer says they're bringing back spicy phone workers, so she can probably get a job for that.
I mean, I think that's kind of been a thing. Yeah, she could work there if she really wanted to pay for her phone bill.
Dude, I would record Everyone Hates Chris, and it would only come out late at night. And as a kid, I'd rewatch them, and the commercials in between were like spicy phone workers.
Oh my gosh, really?
And I did not know how to. I was like,
I don't know.
Her voice is so soothing.
Oh man, we do have an update, and this one is a year later.
Oh my. Okay.
Hey everyone. It's been about a year since I posted, and I thought I'd give everyone an update on how everything went down. It's not the happiest news, but I know people were interested, so I'll share what happened. Right after I posted, I gave my wife her phone back. In doing this, I said to her, I don't believe I was wrong to be frustrated with you, but it's not my right to take your phone away. I'm going to give this back to you, but with it, I want you to take note of the fact that every time you take a long phone call on it, you are choosing someone else over your family. You are choosing to give that time to someone who is not here, while there are family members here who miss you. She snatched the phone back and said, don't talk to me like a child. It's my phone and I'll do what I want with it. And she slams the door. She said, you'll never understand me.
You're not communicating effectively, and also doesn't help that the person that's listening isn't listening effectively.
Yeah.
Because you were trying to get a point across and neither of you did that right.
Yeah, I would agree. In short, things never got better. She was always on it. Dinners were missed. Kids felt neglected. And there were days when we didn't say a word to each other because every moment I was home, she was yakking away on the phone. The final straw came at our daughter's 8th grade graduation last June. Right in the middle of the ceremony, her phone rang. At the beginning, they had told everyone to turn off their phones, but apparently that didn't apply to her. I put my hand on her knee and said, no, not here. Turn it off. She pulled it out of her purse, picked up the call, and walked out of the auditorium.
What?
She missed our daughter walking across the stage.
Oh my gosh.
Jeez.
Dude, do the intervention with the kids. Come on.
Yeah, honestly, like, we need something. We need actual programs for people being addicted to phones.
There's a program for people that take too many selfies.
That was a fake skit.
That actually happened.
That was actually a thing?
That's actually a thing.
I saw a skit about it, though. That was fake.
They probably made a skit because they saw it online that it was an actual thing.
Was it the thing where it was like her hand was stuck in the air like that? She like couldn't...
That
was what I saw. It's like her hand. It was like, I thought it was real at first because I was a kid, but it was like after selfies became like a huge thing, and then someone was like, her hand was stuck like that, and then taxis would stop for her. She went to some sort of support group.
That sounds like a skit.
It totally was. But at first I thought it was real because it looks real to me. But anyway.
Yeah. Obsessive selfies, mental health insights.
That's a support group that you could go to. Well, that's neat. But they need one for phones. This is crazy, though. I also want to know what these other people on the other side of these phones are like. Because it's not like she's playing Candy Crush and she's like super addicted to like scrolling mindlessly and like doom scrolling. She's addicted to phone calls from people that...
Yeah, who talks on the phone these days?
I guess 37-year-olds. 37-year-old Tammy.
I do. I had to stop, though, because no one would answer it. So.
Oh, I need to be better at it.
Not you. You answer whenever.
Well, yeah, I answer you, but I need to be better at just phone calls in general. I would like to be a person that talks on the phone.
Oh my God.
I don't want to.
I'm sorry, the lawyer princess. There are fake phones for those who need the weight in their hand.
That is like an actual problem. Does it come with a helpline? Like, is the only number that's on the phone a helpline? That's insane, actually. Yikes. When everything was over, our son and I collected our daughter, and the first words out of her mouth were, "Where's Mom?" We found her outside of the school leaning up against the building, laughing and gabbing away on her phone. When she saw us, she ended her call and ran over to our daughter, gave her a hug. "Oh, sweetie, you looked so great. Congratulations, you did it." And when my daughter asked her where she was, she claimed that an important call came in right after she walked across, and she had to take it. She was lying to our daughter to take a BS phone call.
Is this terms to divorce?
This is like an actual problem. I think like at this point, I need to completely change my directive. If getting louder and like getting more aggressive, I guess, with how I'm feeling is not working, then like I'm going to reel all the way back and say, okay, what is actually happening now? Like, we got to go in with sympathy. We got to get into the bottom of this. Mentally, what's wrong? Like, truly, that's my cycle.
This is wild.
In this situation, anyway. It's like, you could try healthy conversation. Try maybe a little more stern, healthy conversation. I don't totally agree with him slamming things and yelling and all that stuff.
Yeah,
but
that's
I
too far.
Yeah.
First question, number one, Keon, where's the weed eating and weed whacking?
It's weed whacker.
Okay.
Dang.
Second question.
I was gonna do that after the story.
Can we do a poll, divorce or not?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, because I mean, it's a phone issue. We could probably work this out in counseling, but it's just the final straw. She's lying to her kid now. It's not just you anymore. It's leaking into the family. Also, these people that are calling her has nothing else better to do. Crazy.
Yeah, right.
Anyways.
And do they not understand? Like what is she saying? Like, oh yeah, my kid's just graduating right now. I can talk. Like, do they not know what's happening? Like, is she lying to them? Maybe, I don't know,
man.
We went to dinner and I didn't speak a word to her. She picked up on this and asked me what was wrong when we got home. I told her, "You've made your choice very clear, Tammy. Thank you." She asked me, "What the heck is that supposed to mean?" I said, "You've chosen the phone over your family. That's clear to everyone." The following Monday, I met with an attorney and began the process of filing for divorce. A lot of this is a blur, so forgive me if I get the order a bit confused, but I'll give you a summary of what happened.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. My wife was served with divorce papers at home. She flipped, saying that I was trying to control her behavior, that I was treating her like a child, and that I was punishing her because she had to take a phone call. She ordered me to get out of the house. As I had been the only one caring for our children for the past few months, and summer was starting soon, I refused to do this. I told her that she was welcome to move out, but as I was paying the mortgage and caring for our children, I would not be leaving this house.
Fair.
My wife left and said she was staying with her sister until I came to my senses. She accused me of upending our children's lives right as our son goes into middle school and our daughter goes into high school because we'd have to sell the house. When we bought the house, my wife paid the entire down payment out of her mother's life insurance. My father and brother both generously loaned me money to cover half of the value of the house as well as the down payment. My attorney contacted her, as she had not yet retained an attorney, and told her that I wanted to buy her out of the house. He urged her to retain an attorney to review everything. She opted to accept the settlement and signed a, forgive me if I get this wrong, a quitclaim deed, essentially removing any legal interest she has in the property. I closed our bank accounts, had a cashier's check issued for half the value, and had it sent registered mail to her at her sister's house. She signed for it, no problem. I took our children's college funds, which were previously only in my name, and had my attorney put them into a trust, naming my brother and her sister as trustees. Only with both of their signatures can money be drawn from those accounts. Neither of us has the right to draw on those. It's a lot for my kids to understand, and I try my best not to paint their mother in a negative light. She hasn't made any great effort to see them during this time and keeps telling the kids, when she does see them, that this is temporary and she'll be back soon.
Oh, no.
Jeez.
What? Okay. So we're having these phone calls. What are your friends saying? What are they even talking about? What's happening? I don't even think that these are girls. I think these might be people she's attracted to. You know, it might be. It's not Dana, like Ming Ming says. It's Daniel, a.k.a. Danny.
What if all this time she really is a call girl and she just is working? Maybe it's important because she's trying to make money.
What do you think, Eon? You think it's a call girl?
Heck no.
Really?
She didn't I'm sorry, you're gabbing and just talking about. I don't even know what she's talking about. We don't even know what she's talking about. She's just doing gossip talk.
Yeah.
Who are these other people that she's talking to? I want to be on that phone call and be like, what are they talking about? I want to hear. I want to listen to it and be like, oh my gosh.
Like, do you guys know that you are on the phone for so long? Do you guys is just everyone involved?
What world are we living in? We have no responsibilities.
What are you? I guarantee you, it's like, oh, my daughter thinks I'm crazy. My husband thinks I'm crazy. Can you believe that, Dana?
Yeah. It's like, oh my gosh, he was yelling at me to get off my phone, but I've only been talking to you for 12 hours. I mean, come on.
It's just half the day.
Yeah, I missed the first 12 hours. What am I supposed to do? Not talk to you?
Can't with this.
God. Leaving off of a brilliant comment, give her the dang phone back and make like Tammy Wynette in the spelling bee. Wait, what? My wife, who has not worked since we got married, realized that anything she could buy outright for half the value of our house was like Elvis Presley looking for housing in Chicago. By the way, you can look for more episodes with stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, whatever your favorite podcast app is. Just search OK Storytime. But I don't know what that comment meant. Tammy. There's more to this story.
Everyone, do we agree that every Tammy you know is very talkative? Or do we have a lot of talkative Tammys in our lives? Isn't that one girl in that Stranger Things? Is her name Tammy?
No.
Oh, what's her name?
I don't know if there's a Tammy in Stranger Things.
Robin's girlfriend?
Vicky?
Oh, Vicky. Yeah, Vicky's talked too. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're singing the divorce song.
Singing the divorce song.
By Tammy.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Got it.
I'm thinking, I know one Tammy, my baseball teammate's mom. She was very sweet.
Yep.
She did talk a little bit, but she was very sweet. I had no issues with Tammy.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not saying you have issues. I'm just saying they talk.
I don't know.
A little bit.
Tammy, I think. I don't know one.
I think my grandma's name is Tammy too, and she talks a lot.
Your grandma's name?
Yeah, Nana.
Her name is Tammy?
Tamara?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I just know about Nana. I really don't know her
That
name.
is her name.
Yeah.
That is on her birth certificate.
Yeah.
Nana. But there's a little bit more to the story. She's since retained an attorney and is attempting to get the quitclaim deed invalidated, claiming that she's entitled to half of the proceeds of the sale of the home as a marital asset. My attorney has told me that she has no chance of prevailing in this action and that she signed in about 10 different places saying that she was waiving her right to outside representation and review in spite of my attorney urging her to utilize an attorney of her own. The courts have been shut down since March, so nothing has moved ahead since then, but God willing, this will be wrapped up by the end of the year. My soon-to-be ex-wife doesn't seem to grasp how serious this is, but at this point, I don't care. She made her choice, and I made mine. Working from home, I get to see my kids all day, and I've never been happier.
Good for you, OP.
There are some final comments.
She's in a whole nother world.
Yeah, truly.
Not in reality.
Truly. She's in the metaverse. Dude, she's gonna be so happy when she gets that going.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. One commenter says, I'm curious, what is it that was so important in those phone talks that she blew her own marriage over? Did you ever listen into her conversations? Was she an expert explaining how to stop a nuclear reactor from entering a meltdown? Teaching a 15-year-old how to land a crippled 777 after both the pilot and co-pilot suffered food poisoning? A hostage negotiator?
Oh, yeah. So some serious things.
Yeah. OP responds, it was literally gossiping and talking with friends. She didn't see it as a problem. No matter how many times I nicely asked her to put the phone away, I was ignored. I went from asking nicely to asking firmly to telling gently to telling firmly to demanding that she didn't respond to any of it. Regardless of my feelings, she was going to take that call. It was one thing when it was ignoring me, but when I saw her lying to my daughter and choosing her regular use, because yes, that's what I'm calling it, over her, and I had enough. She wasn't willing to seek help. She wasn't willing to admit that she had a problem, so I was done. And that's the end of that story. Oh, boy. Yeah, I mean, truly.
Line in the sand. People have divorce over littler things.
True.
People have stayed together over bigger things. So find your line. That's your line. I'm proud of you, OP, for making that line.
Yeah, good job.
Just
good job.
Gossiping, bro.
Just gossiping.
I go by this. You got people that talk about people, and you got people that talk about ideas, or you.
Yeah.
I mean, I work at a job where I talk about people, but...
Yeah, we kind of talk about people all day.
I usually like to surround myself around people that talk about ideas, because that's going to build things, rather than just, bringing people down.
Yeah, I think I would agree. I mean, I get dabbling in a little bit of gossip, but for now and then. That's what we like to do here.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to get things off your chest. But I think as long as you don't make it like, the only thing that you talk about with people.
Why was it always on the phone? Why couldn't she do like a girls' night or like go like meet them in person kind of thing? I mean, maybe they're not in the same place, but even then, to that extent is crazy.
That's a good point. Why didn't she just hang out with Dana?
Yeah. Well,
that is actually a really good point. What?
that is true.
You're such a silly goose, Tammy.
But that's the end of that story. I really want to get to this member milestone. Ezekiel 23. Thanks for being a member for 15 months.
Woo!
Hi guys, just found out my wife is either having a mental health crisis or an emotional affair. It's far from typical and messy. She doesn't know. I know yet. Hearts in the chat for you, Ezekiel. I know that must be tough.
Whoa.
One thing to find out if someone is cheating that I found out is you can restart your Wi-Fi router. Like you just completely restart it.
Uh-huh.
And anytime anyone connects to a device on that, you can tell what it is. Like I have an app that tells all the devices that are connected to that Wi-Fi right now. But what you can do to use that information is it's called Wi-Fi Man. And let me find it. I'll find it for you. Yeah, Wi-Fi Man. I'm not going to...
don't show this.
I was about to share my router. But it shows you like all the different types of like people that are connected to it, like Discovery. Like I can see that we have like
everyone who's
my
on it
MacBook
right
Pro, the OKOP laptop, Let's View's connected to this. My phone's connected to it. We got a generic connected to it. It shows everything that's connected to this local network. And if you restart it, it takes away all the devices. And then over time, you can see like all the history of the devices that were connected to it. If that makes
like
sense.
if anyone
so if someone
connects to it at this certain time of the night or something like that. Mm-hmm.
So you can see.
Sketchy. Use that wisely, everybody.
Look up like Wi-Fi router to catch a cheater if you need to. If you
really need to. But Ezekiel, let's maybe treat. I don't know all the specifics. Obviously, that's all we know. But maybe treat it as if it's some sort of mental thing first.
They're talking to a friend.
I was gonna say, no matter what, for either situation, Ezekiel, gather your evidence. You want to make sure, before you jump to any conclusion.
Because sadly, once you jump to it's a one-way road. It's like one door you don't. But
you want to gather your evidence.
Again, really tough, really tough. You know what you got to do, and we're really sorry. We're here for you. Mystery, that's exactly my plan. I want to respond, not react. There we go. That's a good point. Good job. You got a good head on your shoulders, Ezekiel.
Yeah.
We're here. We're family. We're community. We're here again. But I got Tinkle, and I'll be back.
Wait, I do too. No way.
Guys,
you go first.
To be honest, I do 3.
No way.
Let's go sword fight, Keon.
Oh no.
You're gonna lose.
Ew, boys. Do we have another story after this one for this episode? Oh, wow. Okay.
My sister accused me of cheating, so I called out her affair marriage.
Not me. It was you.
Hi, I am 27 female. Let me explain it in 3 points of context before the main argument. Point A. My country encourages arranged marriages, and so when my father's cousin asked for my hand in marriage for his son, my father was very encouraging of the news. He asked for my opinion, of course, and I told him that as long as I can develop compatibility with the boy, I don't have any objection to marrying him. By the way, this comes from Important Fall 8780, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Carly.
I'm Sophia.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. Let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, the connection continued for 3 years, and I literally talked once to him, where he used cheesy pickup lines on me and told me his father is sitting beside him reading our texts. A huge turnoff. Other than that, despite his family being a little less economically sound than us, his father would make backhanded remarks on us and always treat all the gifts given to them as rubbish and say condescending things. Which is why, eventually, I refused to marry him when asked for my final opinion. 2 years after the entire thing ended, I met Henry as a friend, and he is the best thing that can happen to me, so respectful to my family as well. And when he proposed, I said yes, and now we're engaged.
Yay!
And now we're back to our points. Point B.
Oh, point 2.
We are 5 siblings. I am the middle child. My eldest sister is called Claire, 30 female, and my second eldest, Sarah, 28 female. Claire moved away from our state to pursue her career and has a great job now, where she met Matt, 28 male. Matt and Claire clicked immediately. It started with friendship and blossomed into a relationship with Matt pursuing Claire, while Claire was hesitant due to the age gap, but eventually agreed. They dated with marriage in mind, and Matt was introduced to our family as her boyfriend. They would also take us on trips and hang out more as they treated all of us as kids. Point C. Sarah was engaged to a Hudson, also related to my father's side of the family. Sarah liked Hudson and was so happy when the proposal came, despite Hudson's mother being against it. I know the dynamics are messy. Mind you, Hudson family showed a lot of red flags due to the point of Hudson asking Sarah to be the main bread earner of the family and not expect anything from him. And he would also like a traditional wife. And even when his mother insulted Sarah, he took his mother's side.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Am I getting that right?
I'm sorry. He said, I would like you to be the main breadwinner, but you also have to be traditional wife. So that means you also have to do everything else. Are you good with that?
I'm wondering too, because it's I think this has been translated, or it's not their first language, but it says, mind you, Hudson's family showed a lot of red flags due to the point of Hudson asking Sarah. I'm wondering if that was like family pressuring Sarah or family pressuring Hudson.
I don't know.
My mother asked Sarah to reconsider, seeing her being so mistreated, but Sarah wouldn't budge. Claire and Matt took Sarah and our younger sister on a holiday last winter to a ski resort. I wasn't able to go due to exams, and after that trip, Matt started being actively in communication with Sarah, which boiled down to Sarah subtly flirting with him.
Sarah, if you don't like the guy that you're with, you don't have to be with him, but don't do this.
Don't flirt with your sister's guy. Her reason being she wanted to test his loyalty to Claire, and when Matt confessed feelings for Sarah, she told Claire everything with blame on Matt and asked her to break up with him.
Dude, come on.
Not
what?
Cool. Of course, Claire was heartbroken, and eventually, with the insistence of Sarah, she broke up with Matt. Matt didn't try to keep Claire. 2 months after their breakup, Sarah announced she had broken her engagement with Hudson and asked all of us to block him. We did try to understand the matter and also console Hudson when he would come to our home. When he would come to wait at our home all day to talk to Sarah while she ignored him or didn't come home. Eventually, Hudson gave up too. And just a month after her broken engagement, Sarah and Matt announced to all of us that they had gotten their marriage certificate at the courthouse.
I'm sorry, what? I thought, Sarah, you were just testing. Matt.
2 days ago, and will be moving into our parents' house that very day.
Yikes, this is messy. This is so messy.
I like it. This was when everything came out. Sarah pursued Matt, and they had an affair behind Claire's back before she decided to pretend to be hit on by Matt.
Oh.
Which led to Claire and Matt's breakup. She also strung along Hudson, but when she found Matt was more financially sound than Hudson, her own words, she decided to break the engagement. Now they are married and demand that my parents vacate the entire upper portion of their house for Matt and her home, as Matt is still struggling, and our parents owe this much to her. The entire thing led to Claire having a breakdown and my parents having a shock, as a court marriage is seen negatively in our community. When they didn't cater to her needs immediately, she threw a fit, called my mother names, including an S word. This, of course, angered me, and I asked her to restrain back and watch what she's saying. She told me that I shouldn't tell her what is right when I am a cheater and lack moral character.
What? Because OP didn't like the guy that she was with the first time?
I'm confused. Everyone knows Henry didn't even exist in my life until after 2 years of the entire thing. And being called a cheater hit closer to home as our father cheated on our mom and we all suffered from it. I know I might have overreacted, but I called her marriage as a result of an affair, stating entire chain of events, and she can't fool us. After which she started crying and shut herself in a room, saying that she's treated like crap in the family and I should apologize to her. My parents asked me to apologize to keep the peace, but I refused as she started it first, and I'm done with her nonsense. My parents also got a little grim with me. My younger siblings told me I might have gone too far, and I should apologize. I haven't talked much to anyone else in my family for the last 2 days, and Sarah continues to play the victim. I feel wronged, not only on my behalf, but also on Claire's too. Am I the a-hole? Should I apologize? And there's a P.S. We only tried to console Hudson as we all knew how much Sarah loved him, and we wanted them to reconcile. Of course, if Sarah wanted. Secondly, Claire has shut all of us out after the announcement of her marriage and won't answer any calls or texts. We have some comments.
Yeah,
but
Lord.
Messy. I don't think you're wrong to call her out when she's trying to, like, ruin your name.
Yeah, no.
After
no,
what
no.
she did.
Yeah, I mean, like, clearly she's got issues. I don't know. I think your parents just want you to apologize because they know that you are more reasonable than than Sarah.
I wouldn't be shocked if Sarah kind of ends up getting distance from the family anyway. If the the marriage certificate's already seen as bad.
Yeah, no, I would not. I would not be shocked either.
Comments from OP. I'm thinking of moving out soon. Talking to them feels like my mind will explode from all the chaos. She even said Claire wasn't married to Matt, so it isn't really cheating.
Yikes! No, it's still cheating if they were dating.
Yeah. Rocketman69 says, shouldn't Sarah go live with her husband's family? OP says Matt doesn't earn at all as he doesn't have a job and his mother refused to keep them. OKBreak6916 says, I don't understand how you're a cheater and what your cousin, the one who wanted to marry you, has to do with the story. But you shouldn't have to apologize for telling the truth to your sister, not the a-hole. Opie said, well, she called me a cheater since I refused to marry him because he asked me first and I met Henry later and I got engaged. 8 Marshmallows says, she is toxic. Are she and Matt currently living in your parents' house? Opie says, she's always been like that, and I have even had to address this matter with my therapist. Growing up, she would always snitch on us to be called the star kid, and secondly, she would lie to your face so much that you would question reality. And here's an example, a real incident. I woke up to find my charger missing and searched for it for some time until I found that Sarah was using it. I asked her, it would have saved me so much time if you had told me you were using it. She abruptly called me insane and a liar, many offensive, contextual words in my native language. I told her not to mistreat me. She then started to raise her voice, saying that the charger was in front of my eyes, so it is my fault. I told her it isn't about the charger anymore, used mistreatment against me. Yet again, she raised her voice and said, no, I didn't mistreat you. You are going insane and you are miserly for not sharing the charger with me. We have another update 6 days later. Sounds like distance from Sarah would be good.
Yeah, she's just a lot.
I would move out before she goes for Henry.
Yeah, honestly.
Although I guess she's married.
Yeah, but she's married to a guy that, like, sucks.
Right.
And
she's married to a fellow cheater.
I feel like she figured out, or I feel like she saved Claire from this fate that Claire didn't even want to recognize.
Yeah, probably. I didn't know many people would come to me with advice, and I'm eternally grateful. Although it hasn't been a week, a lot has gone down. I still have not apologized to Sarah, and my father isn't talking to me because of that. Though my mother understood my perspective and condemned Sarah, my father sees it as a mistake in youth. Though none of my parents are agreeing to Sarah and Matt taking the upper part of our home, because my dad is very strict about finances, but Sarah has already started making renovation plans, which includes shutting the entrance to the portion from inside the home and making from the outside for privacy, and now lays claims to the 3rd story as well, as it is directly over her area and will cut off from ground level. Matt and Sarah have gone down a campaign to whitewash themselves. They visit relatives telling their story and even try to manipulate my younger siblings. The funny part is, 2 days ago, while telling such a story, when my maternal aunt was visiting Matt, trying to justify his actions, said Sarah pursued him relentlessly and proposed first.
I think that they probably meant, like, victimize.
I also think.
Is this like whitewash?
I'll read it again. Matt and Sarah have gone down a campaign to victimize themselves. They visit relatives, telling their story, and even try to manipulate my younger siblings. The funny part is, 2 days ago, while telling such a story, when my maternal aunt was visiting Matt, trying to justify his actions, said Sarah pursued him relentlessly and proposed first. So he reciprocated, which was against the whole narrative of Sarah's, if he fell in love with me, it isn't my fault, and made her look embarrassed. She came to me yet again to pass sly remarks on me, but this time I told her, Matt doesn't even respect you enough to not blame you for everything, yet you follow him like a puppy. At which she tried to utter some words, but stuttered so hard and then left. Another point, I talked to Claire and she told me not to mention anything related to this whole thing, as it's hurtful to her and she is trying to move on. We did have a heart-to-heart conversation, and I might visit her next month. Another bullet. Henry has been my rock in this. I felt secondhand embarrassment at the whole situation, but it did take a whole mental toll on me. He visits me frequently to console me and help me through it. Funniest thing out of all of this is that cracks are already showing in Sarah and Matt's marriage. Shocked.
I'm so surprised.
Wow. As my dad wouldn't let Matt stay over, and he is frustrated with hotel bills. Sarah had a huge argument with my dad, but, well, he didn't budge. Matt blames Sarah for not even getting him a place to sleep, as he is her husband and should be her priority. Sarah, on the other hand, blames Matt because his mother won't acknowledge the marriage and gives Sarah all the gold she made for her daughter-in-law and a place in her house. Now, yesterday, Sarah came to me to seek my help. I was confused, but I decided to listen. One of her patients is filing a medical negligence case against her, and she wants me to take the case as she has no money for a lawyer's retainer. I did feel some sympathy since seeing the facts she does seem not liable, but I refuse to take her case since I am done being under her thumb. She caused a huge wreck in the house with a meltdown about it. My mother yet again asked me to take the case for her sake, while my father asked me to make my own decision. I still haven't said yes to her, which has made Sarah pass snarky remarks on me about sibling loyalty, etc. Is that not like a conflict of interest case at that point?
I think so.
Like,
yeah,
I feel like
you're related to
people
them.
could get that dismissed because it's like, this is your sister.
Hey, wait a minute. This is your sister. I think Sarah is just really annoying.
Yeah. I know this is a mess, but a lot of people wanted an update, and my therapist said it might help to journal, so I am here talking it out. And by the way, we'll always be here talking it out in full episodes with stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio, search up OK Storytime. We've got a little bit left, but
Oh boy.
what you thinking?
I just think maybe distancing from this girl when you can. I mean, you're engaged now?
Yeah. to
You're
Henry.
engaged to Henry. Maybe, start planning to move out. Get away, create some distance.
I would agree completely. Update 2. Some people are asking why we stay with our parents despite Sarah being a doctor and I being a lawyer. My country has a much lower pay scale due to the economy. Moreover, daughters are expected to live with their parents until they get married. Since Sarah works in the same city as my parents, she refused to move out as it saves her money. And otherwise, she would have to do all the household work. I just started my practice. Credit cards and loans are rare in my country, so I wanted to save up before leaving. We have some comments. Opie says, I'm planning to move out in a month's time. Woo!
Woo!
Hopefully it will help my mental health. And that's the end of that.
I hope so too.
I think that's a good call.
Yeah, me too. Good luck.
Good luck. That's the end of that story.
Sure do.
My husband said he was on a trip, so I had him followed.
Stalker alert.
My husband, 33 male, and I, 32 female, have been married for 4 years, dated for 7. So do the math, that is 11.
11 years.
We have 1 son, 2, and I'm 6 months preggy. I love him deeply. He's a very busy lawyer and often comes home late at night. I never thought he'd cheat on me, but since I began to get bigger, we've been having less spicy sleep. Oh, bigger is in her stomach.
Pregnancy.
I was like, what do you mean bigger?
Pregnancy.
Since I've been gaining notoriety on the Billboard Top 100.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
By the way, this comes from hella preggers.
She's getting big.
She's getting big, buddy.
And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Savannah.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Dakota.
And we're here to give some good advice, hopefully, but we don't have all the answers, so we don't only tell you what we would do in this situation, but we would love to know what you would do down in the comments. OP says, a few months ago, a young woman, 19 female, moved into the condo about 2 doors down. She's a very beautiful girl, but a bit aloof to me. We did invite her over to a dinner party when she first came. A few weeks ago, I noticed that my husband followed her on Instagram and added her on Snapchat. Okay. I'm sorry, but I'm going to be the one to say this. Why does he still have a Snapchat when he's 33?
Yeah.
30.
Why did you follow? How did you follow her on Snapchat?
And she's also 19. That's weird.
So weird. I hate that. He's 33. He's 33 and he's messaging a 19-year-old. That's really weird.
What is this, 1970?
I don't know if he's messaging her, but they are friends
on Instagram.
When did the
and
song
somehow
Snapchat?
Opie found the Snapchat.
Could have been on her bio.
Could have been.
I asked him about it, and he said she followed him first, and he didn't want to be rude.
It's not rude.
Well, he didn't want to be rude.
Oh, that's okay then. Well, now that I know that, we're good.
I didn't want to be rude. Last week, I started noticing him using his phone more and more and generally being distracted. He said it was due to work, but 2 days ago, I saw a Snap notification on his phone with our neighbor's name on it.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Come on. What are we doing? The 19-year-old neighbor? Where are her parents?
Freaking nature. I asked him why he was Snapchatting her, and he said that she was interested in law and was asking him career advice. At midnight, apparently, via Snapchat.
Yeah, I'm sure she's really interested in the legal system. Sure. Mm-hmm. I'm sure she's trying to get some
Weasel
of your
her way
hearsay.
into that legal system.
I'm sure she's trying to call you over to her bench.
I'm sure she's just trying to, Your Honor, your way out of this.
Sure, yeah. That was good.
Does that one make sense?
No, it's okay.
Yesterday, order! I bet she's trying to order you around.
Oh, that was better.
All right. Yesterday, I was taking his suits to the dry cleaners and found a receipt for a sushi restaurant from a few nights ago when he said he was working late at his office. The sushi restaurant is close to our condo complex and nowhere near his office. There were 2 meals billed on the receipt. I confronted him when he came home from work, and he said he took a client out for dinner. Liar. He has an answer to everything, doesn't he?
Yeah, oh, it's a client. I'm a lawyer.
Oh, and also my client is this 19-year-old who just moved in.
Yeah, and her case is spicy sleep.
Her case is love, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, arrest me, officer. I'm in love.
Sue me.
Sue me, I'm in love. But there were so many nice restaurants near his office. Why the one near our house? I'm almost 90% certain he's cheating. What should I even do? I'm about to be a mother of 2.
Oof.
I never even prepared for the possibility of this happening in our marriage, and definitely not this soon. Advice, please. Advice, please.
I mean, like, yeah, he's for sure cheating if he's messaging this 19-year-old. Yeah. I guess before you call him out on it, start getting your affairs in order, see if you have a support system, and then, once you're ready to go, say you're going. That would be my advice.
Yeah, he's obviously cheating, and he's just trying to cover himself, but dude, you're caught.
You're caught,
You are
man.
caught, bruh.
Red-handed.
There are some relevant comments. Do you have the disposable funds necessary to hire a private investigator? In part to confirm, but also as an investment for a more favorable divorce settlement.
Because if you have proof of cheating,
Right.
it's way better.
Right. OP responds, we have a joint account, and he might get suspicious if I withdraw a large sum of money. Maybe I can just investigate it myself?
Ooh, a little amateur PI. Okay.
Ooh, a little Sherlock Holmes moment.
Okay. I was thinking more, what's the show with freaking Kristen Bell? What's that show that she's in?
Frozen?
No! When she was a child. She was a child detective.
Come on.
All right, whatever. Let's keep going. Someone will say it.
Update 1 week later. Thanks for everybody's advice on my first post. It's been an interesting week, to say the least. Last Friday after work, he left for a supposed weekend golfing trip with his 2 friends to a place only an hour drive away. Before he left, I texted the wife of one of his friends if she wanted to get together for brunch on Sunday. She said she had plans with her husband. I then texted the wife of his other friend, and surprise, she confirmed that her husband was at home and not going on any trip.
Well. Look who's been caught sticking their old hand into the cookie jar. Your husband. Prime suspect.
I pretended like I didn't know and said goodbye to my husband as usual. However, I had asked my retired Uncle 65 to follow my husband's car.
Follow that car.
Follow him,
Faster.
go. Get him.
Faster.
He's done something awful to all of us. My husband does not know my uncle, so I thought it was a good plan. My uncle followed him to the airport and took a picture of him walking with the neighbor girl.
Sacre bleu.
He followed them and said they checked into an airline with flights going to the Caribbean.
He's taking a 19-year-old to the Caribbean to cheat on you with?
Oh, he's freaky. Ew.
What's he doing in the Caribbean?
I thanked my uncle and gave him money for gas and his time, but he refused. I was obviously devastated, and my son and I stayed with him and my aunt for the night. They advised me to find a good divorce lawyer right away. I wonder what kind of lawyer he is.
Yeah.
Your Honor, I'm the lawyer here.
It's like, Your Honor, I'm Your Honor.
Your
Actually.
Honor, please refer to me as Your Honor.
Your Honor, please sit down. I'm taking over.
I'm Your Honor, Your Honor.
No, he works in corporate law.
I would feel really weird if someone called me Your Honor.
Your Honor?
If, like, I was a judge and they're like, Your Honor, I'd be like,
Oh,
okay, no need to use that.
so formal. Just call me Savannah.
Just come on, guys. We're all friends
We're
here.
friends here. Not you, though. You
It's
killed
Your
someone.
Highness, actually. When my husband came home Sunday night, I said I was filing for divorce.
Oh.
He acted really shocked and hurt and asked me why. I said I knew about his affair and I had proof, so he could stop acting stupid. He said I was mistaken. I then asked whether he enjoyed his beach vacation, and the look on his face was just undeniable. I guess he finally realized he was backed in a corner and had no more lies left to tell. I told him I just wanted to know why. He said that he was shy and insecure growing up and that he had really low self-esteem. He said he felt validated by the attention of a younger woman and said it made him feel wanted. He admitted that it was a crush gone wrong. I said there's no way I can trust him again. He said that's understandable, and that he was sorry it has to come to this. By the way, you have to listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast app, and just search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left, but I hate this man.
I do too. And it's
horrible.
I'm not glad, but I am glad in terms of how much easier your divorce will be because you have proof that he was cheating on you.
Yeah, it should be relatively easy.
At least easier.
Yeah, and also he very much admitted it.
Yeah, he admitted it. You have proof. Your uncle's in on it now, on your side.
Yeah, so I think you have plenty of proof. It's just how you want to go about it.
Yeah.
But that sucks that you're literally pregnant.
Yeah.
She is 6 months pregnant, already has a 2-year-old at
Yeah.
home. He just threw away that life because of
For
some
a
insecurity.
19-year-old.
Yeah, she'd be like, well, I was really insecure growing up. Okay, and now you're 33, so
Yeah.
you're grown up now.
Oh, yeah, growing up. You've never grown up.
Yeah, I guess you're still just growing
still 13.
as a 33-year-old man.
Yeah, 13 going on 30.
God.
More like 13 never turned any other
Never
age.
turning.
Never turning any other
13
age.
never turning.
13 still 13.
13 turning 13.
Yeah.
13 turning 12, actually. You're going back in time, Benjamin Button. He said he probably made a mistake by marrying in his 20s. That some men were ready to settle down at that age, but he realized that he was not one of them.
Actually, stop talking.
You've been with your wife, married for 4 years, together for 7.
11 years.
11 years you've been with this woman, and now you're like, well, maybe I did that wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're about to have 2 kids.
Wow. I mean, this guy's a joke. He said that he still loved me, though, but that it was best if we went our separate ways. Yeah. The crappiest part of all this is he's staying at his mistress's condo a few doors down while we get our divorce. It will be a long few months, but I'm getting a good lawyer and making sure the future of my kids are secured. I also have a good support system around me. I'm planning on moving to another city after the divorce. It will be a while before I can learn to trust again. I've never hurt so much in my entire life. This level of betrayal from someone you thought was your soulmate is just indescribable. Oh, God, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
But I'm going to remain hopeful. Thanks for everyone's help and support. I wish it turned out different.
Me too, girl. That's tough.
Yeah,
that's really freaking tough.
That's horrible. God. Oh, I wouldn't even know what to do. Your whole world's flipped upside down. I mean, you spent 11 years. That's like a lot of your life on this person.
11 years, 2 kids.
Yeah, 2 kids and, well, 1 kid, another one on the way. That's insane to do that to someone.
Yeah.
Too little, too late.
Shame on you, husband. Shame. Shame. Everyone, laugh at him. Point and laugh. Ha ha. He could only get a 19-year-old. Couldn't even get someone his age.
What's a little dweeb? He must be a dweeb in the bedroom as well.
Little dweeb.
You guys know Metallic Dan?
Yeah.
I mean, Metallic Daniel.
You little...
Hey, 19. No, we can't dance together. We can't talk, you know.
But that is the end of that story.
Sure is.
And we got another one coming right up.
Sure do.
My husband supported another woman's divorce while emotionally cheating on me.
Hey, don't do that.
Good advice, dude. I, 32 female, have been married to my husband, 34 male, for 12 years. We've had a few rocky years dealing with the passing of our first child and a lot of other deaths in our immediate family. We've dealt with a lot of grief, but for the most part, our marriage has been pretty chill. At least, that is what I thought. By the way, this comes from user unspecified gremlin, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. And we are collectively here to give good advice, goofily, but we don't have all the answers to every problem. We just know what we would do in a given situation. So let us know what you would do in the comments. As OP says, about a year ago, some close friends of ours started going through a separation and divorce. The other woman, we will call L, initiated the divorce, saying that she felt neglected and unhappy. For context, we are all Christian. We're not super legalistic, but we still believe in following important biblical standards. Don't you dare ever mix your threads, people. Don't you dare mix those threads. What is that's one of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mixing the threads in a garment.
Yeah. No can do.
Because Keon looks confused.
No, yeah, that's one of the things. You're not supposed to do that.
Don't you dare, or to the lake of fire you will go.
What do you mean by mixing your...
If you make a garment with mixed threads,
it's game over?
Like if you've ever worn a polyester nylon blend, get out of here. You're done for.
What?
Like a linen and cotton thread?
Is that like a sin? What
you're
is that?
Done.
Yeah.
You're done.
Like you're gone from the church?
I'll tell you the specific thing. The Bible prohibits mixing threads, known as sha'at, forbids wearing garments woven from wool and linen together, as stated in Leviticus and Deuteronomy.
Because that is, wool and linen is an unholy blend.
Just unholy. It's ugly. And they said, ew. They said that's a sin, just like wearing white after Labor Day.
So both Elle and her husband had completely different stories, which would often change from day to day. It was hard to figure out exactly what happened, and I chose to remain neutral and encourage them both towards reconciliation. My husband, however, very strongly and openly took Elle's side. He even went so far as to go to our church leadership to advocate and defend her, demanding that her husband be held accountable for the things she claimed he did. In my opinion, the leadership made the right choice in encouraging them both to work on their marriage, since there was no evidence or signs of abuse. Elle did not say he physically mistreated her, only that she felt emotionally neglected. Still, my husband and Elle were both saying that divorce was the only option and that it should be accepted. It was strange to me, and early on, I told my husband that his behavior was inappropriate. It was not our business. I also told him it was not okay for him to maintain a close personal relationship with Elle during this. He got angry with me for suggesting he would be unfaithful, but I was calling it how I saw it. His level of involvement was not appropriate. He agreed to cut contact with Elle out of respect for my feelings, but insisted that we needed to leave our church and find a new one, because the leadership refused to side with Elle and punish her husband. I disagreed and refused to leave our church over something we should not have gotten involved in at all. Shortly after that, my husband started expressing how unhappy he was with our marriage.
This is a pattern.
I was going to say, seems like if he's really happy she's getting divorced, how long is it till he's happy he's getting divorced, you know?
Yeah.
He said he felt disrespected and that things needed to change or he would leave. I was blindsided, and every time I asked what specifically needed to change, he couldn't give me an answer. He broke down into tears and said he had been bottling up feelings for years, and that's why we communicate.
The only thing we should be bottling is wine.
Oh, that's a...
Dude, do you like drink or something, bro?
Dude,
No.
the blood of Christ?
That's it for me.
That's, really, that's all I ever, I'm just a blood drinker, Hashtag red wine. I tried to talk to him and work on things and suggested counseling, but he stonewalled me for months. I became so stressed that I lost nearly 80 pounds in less than a year.
Dang!
That's hospital visit type stuff. What? That's wild. I could not eat. I could not sleep, and even my memory started to suffer. I was barely holding on because of him. About a week ago, I finally broke down. I apologized for anything I might have done and said I wanted to work on things, that I was willing to do whatever it would take to fix this. I felt crushed under the threat of him leaving, and I could not take it anymore. I was desperate to keep our family together because I did not want our 7-year-old daughter growing up with divorced parents. He shut me down. He said he did not want to talk about it and left to clear his head.
Don't you just love it when he doesn't want to meet you in the middle and try and solve any of this? What is this guy doing?
He's probably talking to hell.
Ugh.
He came back later and acted like everything was normal. We had a busy weekend, and then on Sunday afternoon, after attending a different church, he sat me down and said he was going to pack his things and leave for a while. He said he was committed to making our marriage work, but he needed time to reset. He said he felt trapped. I told him that him walking out was sending a clear message. He understood, but said there was no other way for him to move forward. And he packed his things and left to stay with his mom.
Are we sure he's staying with his mom?
Nah, he's staying with Elle, dude. He is staying with Elle.
Yeah, the fact that he's like, we need to do this, we need to do that, and I don't know, that he's been bottling it up for this long, and then he got inspired by Elle. And he got so motivated to help Hurley. I don't know. This guy.
I smell something stinky.
Yeah.
Something did not feel right. I checked our phone bill, and what I found devastated me. He told me he cut contact with Elle, but going back only to November, there were 9,827 text messages between them.
9,000? That's almost 10,000 texts.
What are they talking about?
What is it like? Are they sending literally every single text is a letter of a sentence?
It was constant. Back and forth messages every single day for months. Not just texts, but pictures and phone calls. Some of these calls lasted almost an hour. I lost it. I called him at work and broke down. He lied to me. He abandoned me. And the night he walked out, they exchanged dozens of messages. Even if he was physically with his mom, mentally and emotionally, he ran to another woman.
I mean, he's been doing that for a long time now.
A single woman he hid from me and lied about. To me, this is obvious evidence of an affair. He said I misunderstood and that they were only having Christian fellowship.
Yeah, at this point.
That's what they're calling it these days?
At this point, shut up.
That she only encouraged him to work on our marriage, sent scriptures and memes.
Guess what? He wasn't doing any of that.
So clearly it didn't work, right? Because after all her encouragement to work on your marriage,
he ran away.
You left.
And if she was doing that, why didn't she ever reach out to you? Oh, we can't talk to her. She said to cut off contact from you, Elle. Sorry. You can't talk to her. Everything's fine. Our relationship's fine.
I'm not buying it. He insists he never cheated and never would. But how is this not cheating? How is 9,827 messages in only a few months not an emotional affair? And Whitney Anderson makes a great point. There are only 1,440 minutes in a day. So there's a lot. There's like texts every minute while they're awake.
And then plus the hour-long calls, too.
Constant messages, secrecy, emotional dependence, and shutting me out while opening up to her. Should I feel as betrayed as I do? Yes. Am I overreacting? No. Somehow this hurts more than physical cheating. He shut me out and got his emotional and spiritual support from another woman he became close to. I feel completely disregarded. He crushed me because it was what he needed to move forward, and then added betrayal on top of it. And we have some comments here, and it's going to be a very loud chorus of people telling you to just leave him and move on.
It's hard, but it's like, because again, OP's very religious and doesn't really want a divorce, but at this point, I don't know. Yeah, at this point,
God wouldn't want you to be with this man.
The thing is, you practice what you preach, but this is rough. Pretty much 10,000 texts in a couple of months is insane.
It is.
And he's like, I don't have time to work on our relationship, but I'll go do 10,000 texts with the one person he told me not to talk to.
Comment 1. I would bet my paycheck. If you check back a year ago, the constant contact began before the other couple separated.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Oh, wow.
OP says, I literally do not have the willpower to go back that far. XD. I'm sure I'll just get more angry. Yeah. Comment 2 says, I think it's time to contact an attorney about seeking a divorce. I would also pull all phone records back as far as you can go. I agree with a previous commenter that their relationship started before her divorce. Can you speak to her ex? Ask questions if he suspected anything between your husband and her. He's definitely having an emotional affair, and it's possibly physical. And there is an update. Girl, if you don't leave this man.
It's hard, though. They also have a 7-year-old.
Yeah. Do you want your 7-year-old to grow up in an environment where she learns that, oh, it's okay for a man to do whatever he wants in a relationship?
It seems like he's just so checked out of this. Like, he doesn't want to work on any of this. He's just BSing you, and is it worth it to deal with this guy? I think not. I think it's over. I'm sorry.
It's time. There's an update. My phone company provides a usage report I can download as a spreadsheet. It can be filtered by L's number. I went back through the last 3 billing cycles and the current activity going back to November. When longer texts are sent, the company breaks them into chunks so one message could appear as multiple entries. Even with that in mind, the amount of communication was still near constant daily and overwhelming. Shortly after posting online, I confronted my husband through text with what I found. I told him this went beyond Christian fellowship. I said it was obsessive, inappropriate, and that I needed time to process everything. He responded with a long message confessing.
You caught me.
How are you going to lie about doing Christian fellowship? That's crazy. The Big G's going to bring that up when you get up there to the pearly gates because you lied to your wife,
10,000
who you
times.
were cheating on, by saying you were doing what?
Because every text is a lie. So it's pretty much 10,000 times.
10,000 lies.
Maybe 9,009, because the first text should have been like, hey, L, cutting contact with you. Good luck with everything. Goodbye.
He said the relationship never crossed into explicit content, but there had been inappropriate flirting. He confirmed that what he did absolutely counted as an emotional affair. He apologized and admitted how badly he messed up by hiding it. He said he was committed to me and would stop all contact with L moving forward, though given his lies, that promise meant very little at the moment. And all moments, that promise means nothing.
Yeah.
He even encouraged me to go public so he could be held accountable. He told me to seek support and vent if needed. He came home briefly to see the kids. We did not talk long, but I told him how deeply he hurt me. He did not argue and just listened. He begged me to try to eat something because when he asked when I ate last, I genuinely could not remember. I have barely slept in days. I do not know what comes next. If I had not caught him, this would have continued behind my back. Exactly! So you know what comes next. Religion is fine, but don't let dogma dictate the quality of your own life. Don't let
Don't let dogma dictate the direction of your days.
Don't, because this is some pact. Come on, folks. That is something I have to work through. I do not want my marriage to fail, but we are on shaky ground. It's going to take a lot of work to rebuild trust, and time will tell if it is worth it. But I'll tell you something that's always worth it. Listening to full episodes with stories just like this on your favorite podcast platform, wherever it is, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, just search OK Storytime, and you've got a whole little treasure trove full of gold doubloons, and those doubloons are, each one is a story like this one.
Yeah, I think because of everything they've been through, with the child loss at first, and then they have kids, and the whole religious aspect, I feel like divorce is the last option if nothing else works. This does suck, and it's put your mental and physical health at a huge crisis, OP. And the fact that he's doing this now, like he sees it like, oh, I'm in the wrong. He sucks.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, you got me. All right, now I'll be faithful. I was going to be faithful tomorrow.
Yeah,
and tell you everything, but you got me.
All those other times you wanted to work through it and like tried to talk to me about it, that's on you. No.
It's just so disgusting to like have you come forward and be like, we need to work on us. I want to work on us for not just for us, but for our child. And then he's just like, yeah, right, whatever. I don't really care. I'm going to text this other woman 10,000 times in 3 months.
I want to see what he says to Elle. Like, hey, I have to cut off contact with you. Maybe she was also being manipulated by him in a way. We don't know. But like 10,000 texts, come on. She's clearly like, the fact that she's like, oh, you should be focusing on your wife. You should be focusing on your family.
Yeah.
And he's like, I probably am. I'm trying my best.
He probably had told her like, yeah, we're getting divorced, or I'm getting divorced, or it's done. It's done. I know
honestly,
it's done.
you inspired me.
For now, I am focused on the next steps. I am going public with this information. I have a meeting with my pastor's wife, and I will meet with my husband tomorrow in a neutral location, Belgium, to talk and decide whether he can come home or needs more space.
I genuinely went, what?
You got to keep up over here with me.
Can't even name Germany.
You never know where I'm going with that.
He can't name Germany, but he can name Belgium.
I hold no hatred for Elle or anyone involved. I do not plan to confront her.
I think, personally, you should.
I think you could.
Unless if your husband does it, but at this point, he's standing on basically like a stick. That thing's gonna break. I can't trust him. I would reach out to him like, hey, what's he been saying to you? Because if he says he's been trying to focus on me and focus on the family, complete opposite. Maybe you should cut off contact with him.
She has her own pain and made poor choices leaning on a married man. I also learned that her husband has been trying to fix himself and their marriage and has been in therapy and seeking guidance. I do not think it is right to keep this from him, but I will not contact him directly. I will give the information to church leadership and allow them to handle it. Elle's marriage is not my business, and I will not involve myself directly. I have a long road ahead, and I know it. I have a lot of work, healing, and prayer ahead of me, and that is the end of that story.
I don't think her relationship is your business, but her relationship with your husband, that's very pertinent.
Congrats on having the resolve to want to fix it.
Ming, they are
he
not.
lied to you 10,000 times.
They're not getting a divorce. They're going to try and work through it.
Every single communication he had with that woman after
it was cheating.
Was a lie he told to you.
Every text was a lie behind your back, OP.
10,000 lies. Can you come back from 10,000 lies? How do you know anything he ever says ever is not just another lie? Because he's clearly okay with lying to you 10,000 times as long as he feels like he's getting a sweet deal out of it.
Yeah.
Something to think about, as that is the end of that story and the end of this episode. So, if you love us, make sure you subscribe.
We love you.
And see you tomorrow.